pull it up. Check.
Let me look.
Tell me how audio is. See if we have to adjust.
Oh, it is live.
Yeah, if someone wants to check on the audio for me, because I don't want to pull it up because I don't want it to get picked up. We can see. My only worry is my audio. I should double check that all the audio is going the right way. It should be.
Should be.
Yeah, I hope so.
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone's
I think
fine.
I might just be a little bit loud, but other than that, I think everyone else is good.
It'll be fine. Dylan, you want to talk quick?
Oh, I thought everybody else.
Okay. I'm sure you're fine. I'm sure everyone's fine.
It cut out the moment Dylan went to speak
I know.
for me.
I know. It is for me too.
Bro.
Oh wait, really?
You're good. Yeah, you're good now.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're good though. Cool, we're back. We're live.
I've already linked in like every Discord I'm in that I would link it in. So.
True.
That's.
Do you guys want to hit some more?
Good on me.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
And if you guys want to host,
Tidy Tut 61's already here.
Oh my boy.
Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we're back,
Holy
baby.
fuck.
Let's kick off. Dodge, are you gonna host on your
Oh,
stream? Did you want to?
I could.
It's
It
up
doesn't
to
do
you if
anything
you
like
don't
I'm
want
not
to.
streaming, but
Yeah.
I can.
I forgot I
find
never
the button,
changed my
though.
Discord.
Wait, yo, I'm gonna go watch Dodgeman 27. And
Where
then
is my
get
host button? There it
hosted.
is.
I'm changing my Discord name.
No one can see
But
it.
either way,
But yeah.
I was like,
Unless
I was like,
I
I'll host
hover
it.
it,
Oh,
no
really?
one can see it.
I was like, I'll host the episode. I haven't gotten to talk about shows in about
Oh yeah, unless
4
Sean
months,
hovers,
so
they cannot see it. God damn it.
I haven't gotten to talk about my
You-
shows in like 4 months. So we're
Don't
good.
worry, you'll get to talk this week.
I will get some time this year. I have faith.
Hopefully.
New year, new season. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Save or Slay. It's winter 2021, and it's
Sure,
only
it is.
bangers if you're watching sequels, which we don't do here. So
I was about to
I
say
just
only
agree.
bangers.
I'm
I was
watching
like,
plenty of sequels.
it's still
Did we watch
only
the same
bangers, though,
shit?
right, guys?
Yeah,
It's
there's only bangers.
I'm just saying my shows are pretty bangers.
Hello.
I've been holding off on Log Horizon actually, specifically because I want to let it like build up a bit.
Yeah.
Also, I want to rewatch
Yeah.
1 and 2 before I watch season 3. That's the biggest thing.
As we get started, let's lay some groundwork since it's a new season. Firstly, shout outs to Mia Walker. If you check the VODs on YouTube, the links to her art stuff is in the description. For the logo, still the same logo, different color background, still all her work. So she does a wonderful job there. And then shout outs to the crew who's with me. We are missing Jackman. Sending love to him. He couldn't be here. He's okay, but he just couldn't make it tonight. Had to go for a drive, so he'll be joining us next week. He did tell me what he's voting off, so I do know, and I will take that
Oh,
into
boy.
consideration. I will tell you, he's voting off 2 shows.
Hmm.
Only 2.
I'm also going to be voting
I'll
off at
be voting
least
for
2.
him. I
At
haven't voted.
least 2.
I
Oh
think-
yeah.
I think 12. No,
I love the early weeks.
I just
'cause
really
that's-
don't fucking want to be here.
I like the early weeks because that's when
Hate it.
Pablo goes on his purges and just like tries to get rid of everything.
We will. But let's get this out of the way. Obviously, we have a change for the season. We're doing webcams.
It's true.
Yeehaw.
We really
By
should have just
popular-
done it last season, but
By
we
popular
didn't start
demand,
doing
also
it,
known as
so.
my demand, we're doing webcams because it's
Dylan
more fun this
also
way.
wanted to really do webcams.
He wanted
I
to
think
look
it's
into
more
our
fun.
eyes when we shit talk his shows. is
He
what
wants to look into our feet.
Shit,
Also,
yeah.
Dylan and I have new mics, so
Oh,
we're
yeah.
really
Oh.
glowing up. We should do the
Imagine having a good
introductions.
mic.
I'm not the only one with
Your
a
mic's
professional
fun.
mic now. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's nice. If you don't know, I am, I guess, officially now the host, Sean.
The host.
That
Wow, look at you go.
joining
all
me,
know.
He's going places.
joining me, obviously, is
He's
Dylan,
goated.
who I thankfully was able to see. He almost couldn't make today either.
Oops.
Oh, it is so late too.
Oh,
But I'm here. That's all that matters.
But we made it. But we survived.
We also have Daj, or Villain.
That's me. Hi.
I'm gonna call him Daj.
I'm
Uh,
playing a metric fuck ton of Kingdom Hearts Randall lately. That shit's fun.
You have been.
I have.
You should
But I've
check
been
him
on the
out.
grind.
I've been watching it most
Like
of
I
the
did get
time.
tilted yesterday at it. Holy shit. That seed was garbage. All right, moving on.
We got
Imagine
Michael.
if all 3 proofs were in one world.
God.
We got
Michael.
Michael,
I'm Michael. I'm a person.
and then we got Tommy.
Yo.
Tommy,
I
you-
have an announcement. Wait, I have an announcement.
Oh, you do?
I did something that a lot of people are either afraid to do, scared to do. I started One Piece from
Oh,
the
Hell
beginning.
yeah.
My boy!
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Beginning.
Yes! I need thoughts on that as you go.
I'm
Yeah.
on episode like 51 right now. I've been every time I go to
Oh,
bed.
boy.
Okay, well here's the thing. I say watching, but like I put it on as I go to sleep, and then I wake
Yeah,
up like 8
yeah.
episodes later, and I'm like, I didn't
It's
really
fine,
miss
it's
much,
fine.
but it's fine. So I started One Piece.
Make sure you watch through Alabasta and pay attention because that's one of the best arcs in the show. I don't
just
know how far.
I just
far
finished
in
the
it's a little bit
Arlong
different.
arc. So
Okay, Arlong
Yeah,
Park. Yeah.
like he's
Arlong
still
Park,
in East Blue.
It's
at,
coming
by
up. It's
51.
coming
Yeah.
up.
that's what I'm at. Yeah.
Is Alabasta is before Grand Line, right? No,
It's the first. It's the
it's
first,
the first stop
big
in
island.
Grand Line. Yes,
It's not the first stop. It's the first big stop.
the,
Because
the first arc of the Grand Line, basically.
yeah, because Drum
Yeah.
Island
Alright.
and Whiskey Peaks happened first. But
There's
I
so
know.
many
I know. I just
weird names.
derailed this entire
Yeah,
intro.
No,
it's
no,
fine.
no, this is
One Piece.
this is fine because as a heads up, we're about to do this. Spoilers in harsh language, strong language incoming. This is going to be the whole podcast.
Most of the podcast, yeah, that's true.
And we also have a couple of other changes to the season. We're doing 13 shows because we made a poor
instead of
decision.
like 11.
We
We
usually
almost
do
did 2
12.
3 idol shows.
We'll get there. We're also not going to be doing summary, so we recommend you either watch the shows or hear us just talk about the shows, and if you like what you hear, you watch them. We will let you know this week what the shows are generally before we talk about them, so hope you guys are ready for that. We have 13 shows on the docket, so I don't know if we want to skip what we've been watching this week for the podcast. Because one,
we can
it's
keep
mostly
going.
been, I think, this for a lot of us.
And
the-
ReZero and Jujutsu Kaisen.
and the sequels. We're still watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's do this season with. Let's start this segment already. Jujutsu Stroll. How we like in the second half of Jujutsu Kaisen.
I actually didn't watch this week's. I just realized
Oh.
that.
How
This is a
dare
That's
you.
good
okay.
one.
That's okay. You'll get there.
Cause there was they did that episode over New Year's, and I was like, this is hot. Because I saw on Crunchyroll it was like just
I didn't watch
updated,
the
like,
New Year's one.
and I saw it and I was like, this doesn't look like an actual episode. So I started watching it and I was like, this is hot garbage.
Or did they have a side
Um,
episode?
hmm?
Or like an extra?
It was like one of those
The
like
New Year's one, yeah.
it was the New Year's one where it was like the people who voice acted it were like Jujutsu Kaisen, and then like that was it. And then I watched the
Oh.
next episode where they like started the like team fight, or they were like planning it or whatever, but then I didn't get to watch the next episode.
Okay, okay.
Ah, okay. Can't talk
Yeah.
about it then.
Good shit's happening.
Well, you can talk about it. I'm gonna probably watch it tonight now because I just
No,
realized.
but
All I'll say is Toto is my favorite character. I fucking love that man.
Toto
Toto is
is my.
amazing.
It's
Muscle
so
man.
good. The muscle man.
Beefy muscle dude. And there's a segment in that episode that is by far the best thing the show has done.
You mean the
I-
first quarter of the episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
it's like the second quarter, but like yeah.
No, the very start of the episode. It is the first like third of the episode. I just
Is
rewatched
it?
it. Buddy makes me watch
Oh,
it. It happens right away.
Good.
I thought there was like a tidy break.
No,
Good.
literally right away. But this show's still good. It still slaps. I'm excited to see where it goes. ReZero's back too, which is fucking.
Slime's
got me
back.
real
Log
hyped.
Horizon's back.
I don't know about Log Horizon. I can't
Quintessential
say much.
quintuple
Yeah, I
is
but
haven't
I'll get
watched.
there.
Beastars is back.
See,
Promise
I already,
Neverland is back.
I already read quintuplets, so I don't know if I'm gonna go watch it again. But like, eventually, probably I'll get around to it.
Did we say Dr. Stone?
We did
Maybe.
now.
But it is also back. And also apparently we decided that this season, for anime is just only bangers for OPs and EDs on every show.
Apparently,
Oh,
sound
that's-
design got all the budget this year, and graphics did not because they're like, listen, you can make some sick beats in your basement, but like the VAs and like the special effects,
Well,
can't afford it.
so we'll do a real quick run through. We are watching 2.43 this season, a volleyball
Say in
show.
high school volleyball team.
High Q, but drama.
We'll do this run through quick.
High Q, but more gay.
We're watching Back Arrow, a fantasy mecha western. We'll talk about it.
Well,
His name is
what?
Back Arrow.
His name is
we're wa-
Bakero.
We're watching X-Arm. I think we can say that. Is it watching
We-
it?
We were watching it.
We're struggling
I mean,
through.
we're watching the PowerPoint presentation that is X-Arm.
We're watching Heaven's Design Team.
Yeah, it's
it-
comedy.
Comedy. We're watching Horimiya.
A nice little
Mhm.
rom-com.
We're watching I
Mhm.
Start You, the first of 2 idol
Mhm.
shows. It was gonna be 3, but we're not gonna
Short
talk
form
about
rip.
idols. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore it.
Short form.
Idols was fine. I would have preferred Idols over X-Arm.
I think
me
I
all.
As the
think
only
we
person
made
who watched Idols.
I think we made the greatest decision the podcast ever will. We're watching Idly Pride, our second idol show.
Yeah.
You,
The,
Dylan?
We're
Not as
wa-
bad
I
as I
think
thought it'd be.
He picked I
You
Start
did.
You.
Oh, you.
Who
Well,
did Idly Pride? Was that Jackman?
fuck you anyway.
Wasn't it you, Michael?
That's
Oh,
me.
was it?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Idly Pride and
Well
the
done,
last
Michael.
one.
Well done.
Yeah, and then we are Kimono Jihen. Who was Kimono Jihen?
Yeah, that's a show.
Jackman.
Jackman?
That's Jackman. That's
So
Jackman.
his
Probably.
was Kimono
Yeah.
Jihen and Skate.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Other
Mono
side-
Jihen's the comedy this season right
We're
now. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I guess he technically got X-Arm too.
We're watching Other Side Picnic, not to be confused with Other Side Panic, which I know both me and Dodge have messed that up, I think, since we've watched it.
Not to be confused with Other Side Yuri. But yeah.
We are
Not to be confused with
Watching-
Undertale.
we are watching Star on the Praetor.
Oh, we watched that.
We are watching
Project Scarred.
SK Infinity
Infinity.
or Skate the Infinite. We are watching The Last Dungeon. But Michael, help me with this full title.
Suppose the kid from the
Thank
last
you.
Dungeon Boonies moved to a starter town.
Yeah, we're watching that. And then we're watching Wonder Egg. So we're gonna close out this podcast with Wonder Egg.
On
That'll
the
be-
weekly.
That'll be good. But let's kick it off with 2.43. Tommy, it's your pick.
Mhm.
What do you think about it?
So I had very high hopes going into this.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Okay,
You did.
okay.
Let the
I
man
love
finish.
I love Haikyuu. I love
That's great.
volleyball. I
Uh-huh.
like anime. I'm like,
That's true.
this is gonna be a banger, and then I literally fell asleep in the first episode. But they didn't even like start playing volleyball until the second one, and I haven't even watched Haikyuu in a moment, so I don't even remember. I know Hinata. What's the setter's name? It's like
Kageyama.
Kageyama. There's literally Kageyama and like a taller Hinata in like this show, and the
You're not
Kageyama
from a
is,
third year.
yes, and like the Kageyama is literally even more of an asshole than like Kageyama.
Yeah, like, he's more of an
I don't
asshole.
know. Early season Kageyama is kind of a dick. This
Okay,
guy's
okay,
just
okay.
kinda like
Kageyama's a dick.
This guy's just
What,
passive aggressive.
Kimichika?
He's just passive
Kimichika
aggressive.
did Kimichika things.
He
That's
made a
true.
dude commit suicide.
No, he made him attempt suicide.
I'm
Not
sorry.
better.
I
Okay,
watched
anyway.
Wonder Egg. People actually died in that one.
Stop.
Okay, but this
Get
is
there.
like a slice of life volleyball show, not like a demon egg faceless puppet show. Anyway,
We'll get
well, that's
Get there.
an hour and a half down the line. Anyway,
Optimistic.
yeah. From what I saw, it's pretty slow to say the least. They went through like 2 matches in like 5 minutes or something like that in like the second or third episode. They really only showed like 2.5 minutes of actual volleyball, so I was already kind of pissed at that. A lot of it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I don't know why this dude's getting bullied for playing volleyball with a guy like halfway through the first episode. Like, he's not doing anything with his life, and you're not gonna play with him, or we'll kick your ass. And I'm just like, okay, that's a bully. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it picks up, because from what I've seen in the actual like volleyball shots, they don't look bad. Like, they actually seem
No.
pretty interesting. It's like,
Yeah.
if they were to do sort of like what Haikyuu does, where they span like an entire game over like several episodes, that'd be dope. But as for right now, we don't have any like information on like other than the main 2 characters, which it's kind of hard to invest in when they throw these characters that they show up for like 1 episode, and then they're just like, they're there too, by the way, and like the volleyball team has like 8 people. I don't even think they've mentioned the names of the other like 6.
Have you?
Or maybe
they have.
Did you get to watch episode 3?
I watched
think
it
we
when
did.
it came out. What was 3 was
Three's
the
the high school.
three's
one.
the,
Three's
the
like
high school
a-
one. Yeah, three's the high
so
school.
you
Yeah, I
have-
did watch that
Where
one.
like
I
they're
did-
trying to get him
yeah.
on the team.
Yeah, I did watch that one.
We
Yeah,
meet
so
the captain and the co-captain, and then they're scouting the rugby player.
yes.
And he sets him up.
So I guess these first initial episodes are really just like showing you
Build
the
up.
only people that are gonna like actually be like consistent members of the show, which is like, I guess that's fine. but it's interesting. I'm gonna give it a few more weeks before I cut ties with my show, but for now, I mean, it is what it is.
It's not the worst.
It's not the worst.
There's no way
It's
any
very
of
much
us
not the
here
worst.
have picked a show and feel like it's not what we wanted.
Oh no,
That's not
I
gonna
was just
happen, right?
I was just given a show last season and told deal with it.
Listen, I don't know what you mean. Like last season, I picked a banger and it got voted off week 1. Like I don't.
Must not be a banger. I don't know.
It was not a banger.
Mm.
It
My
was not a
Setsu
banger.
was a banger. You're right.
It was the opening act, and it closed real quick.
Maya Setsu's better than X. I'll say that much.
I don't know. That's kind of a stretch, but maybe.
So,
They
who
both
el-
made me laugh.
So
Who else has
I
thoughts
enjoyed
on
this anime, though.
2.43?
I enjoy it. I think it's okay. Like I've watched quite a lot of sports anime. I've watched like Kokoro no Basket. I've watched Diamond no Ace. I've watched FQ. I've watched what was the other one? Major, which is another baseball one. So I've watched quite a few, and it's like it's sports anime. You know, they're gonna go in the tournament, and they're gonna do well in the tournament, and you know, edgy main character, but he's gonna become friends with the team because it's a team. We're a team now. We're together. We're not the only good player. And like friends got to get over his nerves or the yips as it's called in sports ball animes. But yeah, I mean it's a sports anime. It's all right. Is it better than Taiso? No. It's worse as a drama than Taiso, and it's like arguably worse as a sports show at the moment. So, but like Tommy says, like it has room to grow. Like we're still in the early stages where it's like introducing characters and stuff. So like I predict next episode's probably gonna be another like here's the rest of the team. Here's a practice game. Here's us trying to work together and fix you being shit at volleyball now. Like, but yeah, I mean it'll be around for a couple weeks. I can pretty much guarantee that just by the rest of the cast. But yeah, I mean my thoughts are it's okay. It's not bad.
Yeah, I think the show is fine. It again, it's gonna take some time. It's a sports show. We need to meet the team. It was weird how they had this whole thing where they meet back up in middle school, then they have to time skip to them in high school. But
Yeah,
like,
that was nice.
it was interesting. It was weird that they gave a little bit of time to the people in middle school and then went, nope, all gone. New
That's
group.
what
But
that's what I was saying. Like
We got one of
how
them
they
still.
one
Yeah,
of them
the,
still,
one of
but-
the kids came over too. And was
Oh.
like, I don't want to play because he's on the team.
Yeah, I think the show's gonna be cool. I personally am a big fan of this possibly gay romance dynamic between Chica and Uni.
Stop.
You look at the way they look at each other.
Stop.
The man did jump down a flight of stairs to meet him on the first day he transferred into middle school.
Can we talk about
childhood best friend.
Can we
you know
talk
what I mean?
about like the power of homosexuality in the season? Because it is rampant.
Oh yes, it is amazing.
Can we talk
Which is
about the
fine,
power of
but-
heterochromia or whatever
That
the fuck?
also
like,
ramped this
Heterochromia.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
every
power
other
of
show.
Sans.
One of them has blue in their right eye. One of them has blue in their left eye. But both of them have a brown other eye for some reason.
But let's keep focused on 2.43.
Yeah.
Michael, do you have other thoughts?
I don't know. I think the show's gonna be fine. I don't think the show's only gonna be 12 episodes. This needs more time. Like, my brain thinks, if you think back to Haikyuu, its first 12 episodes are very slow. They spend 5 getting onto the team.
True.
What I will give this show is that while so far a handful of its characters do feel like stereotypical volleyball characters, and that like you can only do so many things with volleyball characters. A character has trouble because they're short. A character is an asshole. A character is self-centered. A character is scared of actually playing in a game because of blockers. We see a lot of this, and if you've watched Haikyuu, a lot of these characters feel familiar. So far, I'm interested to see the rugby player, because I think that's going to be an interesting adaptation of how he goes from rugby to volleyball and how they get him to do that. And the other one is, like, I would call him, like, the vice captain. I don't remember his name, because he's not the captain, because the captain's
Tall
the short
guy.
one. The tall
Yeah,
guy.
tall guy.
His character seems very interesting to
I
me,
like him.
because he seems like he's, like, a quiet, like, manipulative schemer, and we haven't, like, seen that on a main volleyball team in anything I've watched, but we definitely have seen it in, like, Kuroko, right?
Usually it's the villain type.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see more of this cast and hope they grow in positive directions. But but yeah, definitely like the highlight for me is the animation when we do get the bit of volleyball play. It's as clean as Haiku is in most cases with like the actual of like hitting of the volleyball. So I'm glad with that. But I definitely do think this show has room to grow and is probably gonna have the time to do that.
Yeah, hopefully. What are your thoughts, Pablo?
So like, yeah, this show needs like more episodes for me to get like a full opinion on it, but like, I don't know. I don't really like volleyball animes. I feel like I never watched Haiku, so like, I don't really know. But I hate one-dimensional characters. I hate characters that are just like it's like, oh, this is the dude that really just wants to play well and doesn't care about other people's feelings. That's it. And it's just like, okay. And, oh, he's a main character. Shit. Well, it's kind of hard to start from there. But like, you give him this tragic backstory of like, oh, I was kicked off the best volleyball team, so I am really good. I swear. I don't buy it. I don't like it. I don't mind this show. Like the animation's cool. Like when they actually do like volleyball shit, I'm like, oh cool, that was a cool spike and shit. But like, dude, they showed that scene where the dude kept getting blocked like 6 times, and I'm like, okay, I get it. He's getting blocked. Can we move on?
Okay, he's running it like.
Look, they set 3 blockers on the left. Oh shit, they set 3 blockers on the left. Oh fuck. They set
he's just hard ending.
It's like, bro, like if I see that twice, I'm like, okay, they set 3 blockers on the left for me. I'll change up my strat. He's like, what's happening? I'm like, I don't play volleyball and I can tell you what's happening.
The only critique I really have is predominantly with episode 3, and it's that for Uni, the like or secondary main character or main character depending on how you want to look at it, he says he's acting about being bad at volleyball on the court for that game, but they also make it sound like he hasn't been playing great anyway,
He's been
too.
bad at volleyball for the rest of the time on the team.
Like, because the captain clearly doesn't know they're setting this up for him to play like shit so that they lose on purpose, but he also still tells the other main character that he chokes on the main field, like, when he plays an actual game. So it's a little weird to get that, like, description of, like, well, yeah, I'm throwing here. It's like, well, are you? Because aren't you just bad without him? Isn't that what we're getting at? So I hope for a little more clarity, and it also feels like we skipped some time of them playing in high school, because it sounded like they played actual games and just lost. So I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to progress, but I mean, it's early volleyball.
I will tell you,
the worst thing we've seen.
This is not one of the shows Jackman is voting off.
Shocker.
Wow, we did it.
I'll tell you this, it's not the one I'm voting off either. It is the show, though. It's a good show. But it's not Haikyuu.
Are we good to move on?
Yeah, like I said, like, I think a lot of these shows are just like, you could be good, but I don't fucking trust anime anymore.
Wandering Witch just like ruined all of you guys.
Wandering Witch bastard.
Dylan's had a lot of trauma with the podcast and shows he's liked, and then we've gotten to like the last couple of weeks and he's despised them.
Y'all got Wandering wrecked.
Let's talk Back Arrow. I picked Back Arrow. To give you an idea of what it is, it's a mecha in a fantasy world that has this wall that exists, and things fall from beyond the wall, and the two empires collect it, and they're fighting over stuff. That's Back
Thanks,
Arrow.
God. Thanks, God.
Our main character is also Back Arrow.
That's his name.
That's my name.
I will come clean out with this. I don't think Back Arrow is great. I enjoy watching it, though. It makes me smile because I think it's dumb and it's goofy. I think it has interesting premise to it, but it also does a lot of weird things. I think the mech fights look okay. I think there are times where they look better than and times where they just kind of seem like they aren't focusing on the entire fight. They do very particular zoom-ins, and I'm not the biggest fan of some of that. I do generally like the cast we have for this main group from the village, along with Back Arrow. I think they all have room to grow into very good characters. I think it's very important to let you know that Bit is voiced by the dude who did Jordo's voice actor.
Yeah, my buddy was saying that when we were watching it.
He's a fun voice actor later.
Yeah,
in
he
a
is.
later show.
He's interesting. I'm not
He also
too invested in the Two Kingdoms issue. I'm obviously much more invested in Back Arrow's journey to the wall and his lack of conviction. The conviction thing is real goofy and real dumb. Especially because
My conviction is
especially considering it seems like since the characters get like this odd wave talking to them when they enter these mechs and they get freaked out by it, it seems like both of our female characters have responded very quickly to the question of what is your conviction with like a fight or flight answer of just I want to leave or stuff like that. So it doesn't really seem like their convictions are great, and I don't know how I feel about that. And Back Arrow not having one is some anime protag bullshit, for sure. But I think it has room to build its world and be interesting for a while, because it hasn't done anything that makes me hate its guts, is how I feel about Back Arrow.
I think that's fair.
Dylan, how do you feel about Back Arrow?
Back Arrow sucks. That show is so bad. Oh my god. I'm like, oh cool, they're gonna get mechs. Like, okay, this is the show that like there's actually like no like difference in power between their mechs. It just matters as who activates their mech last. That's the strongest person on the field. There's no one else who's stronger than the last person who uses their mech. That is just how these shows work. It's like the general dude who literally looks like with the fucking mane of hair. He literally looks like the guy from Dr. Stone. He fucking walks up and he's like, and then, like these fucking 3 dudes are already in the mech form. Like, oh, this guy's stronger than all 6 of them combined. Otherwise, he wouldn't have used his mech form. Obviously, like why would he? Like the show is just too obvious. The dude who has the fucking scar on his chest.
Back Arrow?
I don't know. There's just no like logistics to it. Like it just doesn't make sense.
That's the fun of it. It's just mindless fantasy bullshit.
Yeah, and to be frank, I'm sick of that, so I'm gonna shut up. So.
I see. See, that's where we have a difference. I can enjoy mindless fantasy bullshit. I understand the show's not very good, but I laugh while watching it because of how just ridiculous it is when someone yells, "My conviction is no mercy for those who run."
My conviction.
That's just hilarious.
Literally, it's like they didn't want to. They wanted to be original so bad that they just chose a word out of the fucking English dictionary that meant like a hard soul, like a good soul. Like I have a good soul, and they're like has conviction. Yeah, he's got a fucking ton of it too. And more, you're stronger. Oh yeah.
Bryhites are just stand mechs.
I'll show you my conviction.
Like if I'm literally just waiting till the end to pull out my mech form because then I'm just the strongest on the field apparently. Like that's just that's my entire opinion on the show. By the way, like I hate it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think Dylan nailed it on the head. This show's fucking dumb.
It's so stupid.
It's pretty dumb.
I'm not denying that.
I'm not denying it's dumb. That's why I enjoy it.
It's not bad. It's kind of bad.
It's kind of
It's
bad.
pretty bad.
It's not a good show at all. It is just
I
mindless fantasy
can't
garbage.
say I can't tell with a straight face. It's really bad. I'm not enjoying it. It's a show.
This show gives me like not quite up to snuff with like a modern shonen vibe, where it's like I could see it doing a bunch of shonen tropes poorly. Like I'm waiting for these characters to eventually fuse their mechs together.
Okay, this is fucking Gundam. Or Voltron or whatever.
Well,
like
yeah, no, that's why I said it's bad.
It could
so it's
be.
not. They're not gonna get that far. But like I mean, like I imagine like Magical Girl, like fusion dance, Dragon Ball Z kind of shit.
No.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not waiting that long. Sorry.
I mean, we'll see about that.
But, okay, so then it goes from it's not the last person who mech forms on the field; it's the last person who fuses on the field.
At
Yeah.
some point, you have to bring in something new.
It brings in some complexity because, like, what if you fused with the dude who last came on the field? Because, like, he's the strongest. Oh my god! And like, do they have compatibility? Like, are they in love or something? Like, I'm already over it.
Like
I'm
there's
already-
fusion. I didn't even
I'm
watch
already
it.
over.
No,
I'll be
there-
honest. I didn't even watch third
No,
episode
there's
because
not.
it's not
There's
on my totally legal browser that I use, and I haven't watched the third. I was about to say like this fusion and shit. Like, huh?
No, there's not. I'm saying that I could see them doing that.
Mhm.
We
I
watched
don't- I
third
don't-
episode.
I don't want
That's
to
where
see them
Big
do
gets
that.
his character arc.
Cool.
I take it this means we don't have a lot to say about Back Arrow outside of a lot of the podcast doesn't like it.
My favorite part was when he picked his name and I fucking cried because it was funny as hell. Bucket, oh yeah, that's me.
To be
Back
fair,
Arrow.
the show makes me laugh, but like a ridiculous of like, why am I watching this? Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to watch this. He just did something dumb, like, oh my god, please end this suffering. But yes,
Okay, well, I think we're fine to move on. Hey Dylan, do you want to do this? Did you say you wanted
What?
to do X-Arm?
fuck. Yeah, okay. So like general premise, X-Arm's confusing as shit, but it's a show where like androids exist, and okay, like pause. The hangar scene or the shipyard scene, straight out of Ruby season 1, by the way. Like, I'm pretty sure they did the exact thing. Like, they just took the source file and just replaced the characters.
With shittier models.
Tell
that
me
move
jokes about
less.
this. I think it looks worse than Ruby Season 1.
That's hard to do.
I don't know about that.
I
Have
think
you seen
Ruby
the-
I think Ruby Season 1's action looks better because their animators knew what they were doing.
It's a show with like a number of like special weapons of war called
X-Arms.
X-Arms. And the one dude's brain is an X-Arm and he died, but now he's a brain and he like hack into shit. And the show's tag is ecchi, but like how can a show with that awful of like quality animation be even considered ecchi? Like
Wait,
Mechanical,
tag is
mechanical,
It has an
mechanical
edge tag, yeah.
tentacles.
Yeah,
I
Mechanical
didn't know
tentacles.
that. Oh my god.
the problem is I don't care about
I'm
titty if it doesn't look good. Like,
I was looking I was like, I guess. Like what the fuck?
are you sure about
Because
this?
you see shots of them naked? I don't know. They blur it out so you
But-
don't.
Because he's technically inside her.
But
Hmm.
That's pretty fucking cringe.
So,
You're right. So it's the
Dylan,
show.
continue.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, so this show's bad. This show's also bad.
This show's very bad.
This show's bad.
Podcast
Like
scale. Worse or better than Gibby 8?
I didn't watch that.
This
okay,
is
it's better.
Worse.
I would rather watch this than give you. Be honest.
I'd rather watch
I
this.
agree. I agree.
I was like, my eyes peeled open and like 4 guns to my head. I'd be like, all right, fine. It's the 4th gun that did it, but yeah, the show, the characters aren't that interesting. They're very like random too. Like their personalities are just like really. Like also okay, you guys also notice that like randomly like zoom in on characters'
Yes.
faces.
Yes.
Like,
This
it's
is
like
how
With
you.
zero emotion on any face in this entire
Yeah.
show.
they're like.
This is how you know this animation. This to be fair, this has come out and people know
Because
this
we're on a
this
budget.
fact that this animation studio has never done animation before. This team has never done animation before.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to shit on them too hard, like regardless, but like I'm
But-
gonna talk about your shit, bro. Like
They also
Uh,
can't direct though. Like, cause there are times where they will do a shot, they will zoom in, and then they will shift the zoom slightly back out and to the side. It kills me, dude. It's so bad. Like,
Okay, like it wasn't just me.
as
You know, the
someone
show
who as someone
hurts.
who has worked on a TV set and knows how to like turn a camera and pan shots,
that seems difficult.
it's not this difficult. It's not.
I want to say something. So I enjoy. There's a YouTuber called Jello Apocalypse. If you've ever heard of him, he's
Yeah.
amazing. When he does ratings, he has a fun little scale. He rates things on a scale of 10, but the scale goes from -10 to 10. And the worse the show is, the closer to 0 it is. The way he scales it is that shows that are so bad that they're funny get into the negatives. So like a movie like The Room is a -10. I put this show at like a -8 on that scale. It's so atrocious that it's just I can't stop but smile and laugh at
I
how
don't
bad
even think
this
it's
is.
funny. I just don't. I don't get any sustenance out of this show. I
It's
get
one of those shows that's like it's trying to be like super
This-
badass, but like
And
it's
it
just
looks
like
bad.
you can't get into it. Like
I have to
Yes.
agree with Michael though, because dude, that shipyard scene again, there were like 90 people shooting at one person and not a single bullet hits them.
Oh, my
Those-
favorite part of it, someone mentioned it. I was watching this again yesterday with friends. Right at the end, someone scopes at her, and we see a shot through a scoped lens from a guy using a gun with an iron sight. It is amazing.
I didn't even notice that because I was paying so little attention.
Someone mentioned it immediately, and I went, "Wait, that's amazing."
I think X-Arm.
yeah.
Go ahead, Dylan. Finish.
No, that was it. You
Okay.
talk, please.
I
What do you
think- I think X-Arm does interesting things, but makes it very hard to want to enjoy those interesting things. Like the two things that I've picked up on, because I was scoping through episodes for a screen cap. In episode 1, his brother shows him a photo of the like cyborg models he's working on, and it looks like or female that we get 20 years in the future. That's interesting. And every episode when it opens and they show like the 10-year, this one of the show's problems is that it skips around too much time-wise. Like different things have happened on a timeline, and they have to like go 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, which is a pain.
Probably should pay that much attention, honestly.
But the shot where they show him, or main character, in like on the skyscraper, like destroying the world. Each episode so far, I think they've been adding a different X-Arm to him. So they only.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think he just has had the two, the hand and the
Uh-huh.
arm?
Yep. No, I rewatched episode 1
Oh,
yesterday. I
never
know he
mind
has
then.
both.
It's not cool.
And no, and he has specifically X-Arms 11 and 12, which is the right forearm and the right hand.
Yeah.
And we have currently seen in the show the left hand and the left forearm.
And his brain.
Yeah, and brain. The brain is X-Arm 0. And the left hand was X-Arm 8.
I think there are neat ideas here. I just don't think this was the way to do it. I also really don't like any of these characters. I think they're all atrocious. None of them have like even the smallest bit of depth to them or are interesting at all to me.
I like the one black-haired girl, but just because she's the comedy relief and no other reason why.
The main one who's like out in the
The
field.
main one, yeah.
She has a problem that Michael and I refer to as Clover syndrome from
Oh, no.
VLR, where her animation model at times will just be smiling instead of having other emotions. So in the scene in episode 1 where she's being strangled by the guy, she's still smiling in that scene.
Oh my god.
So when
wait,
she's on the bed about to have her intestines ripped out, she's just smiling.
Same. Just like so it's just like that one show that we're gonna talk about later. Do you want to die? Yes, please.
Please kill
But
me.
no. So to reference that image you pulled, by the way, I paused at that scene like 17 different times. I literally was watching this. I'm like, Mason, this is the worst show I've ever seen. I'm talking about Buddy Mason, and I'm like, you have to see this. And I played him that clip for 15 seconds. It's the most awfully animated clip ever. If you watch the rice being cooked, the rice looks so good, and then it cuts to a scene where it's just like not proportionate with the pan that it's in. Like it looks really good, the pan's like CG, and then it switches to the characters talking, and one is drawn and one is in CG. And why do you do that in the same scene?
That's the image I'm using for the podcast.
Why do you
If
do
you
that in
check
the
on
same-
stream, you can see it.
I know.
I don't know how you make
just-
this show look at that scene and go, yeah, this is good.
Who made a decision to be like, yes, main character, CG, all the time.
I have
Background character, fully drawn.
I have a
See,
friend who watched this show, got to that picture of the CG, non-CG, and went, nope, and turned it off.
I literally messaged my friend. I was like, "You have to see this right now." He's like, "I'm in the middle of the league game." I'm like, "I don't care. You're taking 15 seconds to see this. This is the worst looking show I've ever seen in anime. And that's not even close.
Gibby 8 looks real bad.
And to be fair, I understand with COVID and everything, CG is probably the cheaper option. That's all I gotta assume, because there's so much just random CG thrown into like half of these shows that I feel like it's gotta be like a cheaper option or something,
But
or
this
easier
is
to do.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah, and we're in America, where COVID is the worst disease in the entire world. In America, still. Not for me though, because I got my vaccine. Let's go. But oh man, X-Arm.
Oh, yeah, I feel like you'd be allowed to do that. Good
It
for you.
hurts so much. Yeah, I exist in the med field. Pablo probably has the option too, or Dylan rather. But off topic, X-Arm sucks. That's all I have to say. Fuck that scene. That scene is the worst shit I've ever seen in anime.
I think we've
So
let it all out. All in all, good show, right? Yeah.
Yeah, good show. 10 out of 10.
I will say for
Great show.
reference sake,
-8 out of 10.
because I didn't say this before. We're watching 3 episodes of most shows, 2 episodes of a handful. X-Arm is one we've only watched 2 episodes of because it came out Sunday, and we didn't. I didn't want us to watch episode 3 of It, Idly Pride, or Kimono Jihen just because we usually do these podcasts Sundays, and I don't want to rush people who like work Sundays to have to find time to watch 3 episodes. If X-Arm makes it every week. So I just figured we only do 2 for those. We also only have 2 for Wonder Egg. I just thought I'd say that. I guess we'll see how X-Arm does. I believe I'm gonna double check this. I believe X-Arm is one of the 2 shows Jackman is voting off this week.
I hope it is.
For his sake, I hope it is. All right, moving on.
Moving on. Is this
it's
you,
your
Mike?
time.
Oh, is it?
No,
Oh,
this is me.
It's Dodge, right?
This is me. This is my
Wait.
second pick. This is Heaven's Design Team.
Oh, yeah.
So, Heaven's Design Team opens up on the premise. It's this, every episode opens up on, in the beginning there was nothing. But then God created light, water, earth, and all the living creatures, or at least that's how it should have been, because that's a lot of work. So he outsourced it. And I think it's hilarious. I love that. But Heaven's Design Team is just a show where God is outsourcing the creation of species on the earth, and it's just like this like boardroom of colorful characters, who each have their own niche. Like the old guy who's famous for making the horse and is only good at making horses, except for when he sucks at making horses. And basically everyone's just trying to make these other animals and stuff, and it gets way out there and way crazy. And there's like I think 7 designers or 6 designers, and then like the mechanic or engineer who actually like puts it together and explains why things don't work. And this is like I kind of love this show just because it's like it's very like to the point. It is what it is. It's a comedy at the heart, and it does pretty okay at that. And my favorite part is actually like the science part, where it actually like goes in and explains like, yes, this is why this animal works. This is how it exists. Like this is what it actually does. Like I love that shit. That's interesting. It's cool. You watch it, you learn something. You don't hate it. You just have a good time. Like you don't love it, you don't hate it. It's just kind of there. But I'm enjoying it so far. I'm liking it.
I really enjoyed this show. I think the comedy is really good, like most of the time. I like the more subtle comedy, which it's not like a big joke when in the first episode they go, "We got to go to the prototype island, the Galapagos Island," which if you don't know, there's like thousands of species of random animals there that only exist there for no reason other than they feel like it. Also, the first episode, the ping pong tree sponge is one of my favorite animals ever, and I love that they made a joke about it.
I didn't know
it's in the opening. It's amazing.
I didn't know those were actual things. Yeah, Pegasus are in the opening. Like,
yeah, the opening's amazing.
I love all the logic they put behind it too. It's like, why doesn't this animal work? Well, its head's too far away, so its heart's got to pump blood to it, so it just dies. Like, it can't do it. And then they're like, okay, what if we give it a bigger heart? And like,
I didn't know that anteaters T-posed. That was the best thing that happened.
Yeah,
in
they
the
just,
show. They just
intimidation pose. I just gotta start doing that. People will just. You coming at me? You can't get in my lane? What do you guys thought? Tommy, what's your thoughts on this show? You're usually against the funny business.
Okay, no, okay, what? Okay, no,
You're not.
I'm
funny.
against bad funny, or bad attempts at being funny.
Yeah, but you're against me, and I make shitty puns all the time. So like,
Fuck.
Wow. Okay.
I'm honest.
This show, I didn't think I would like it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. So it has my vote for now. The one thing I did like is I sort of got some like Dr. Stone vibes. You know how like in Dr. Stone how they like explain the science behind everything, and it's like they explain legitimate science about how to like create things. It's like it wasn't as in depth as Dr. Stone, but it did also take the route of like somewhat educational, but not forcing it down your throat, I guess.
It's not the
which
main point of the show, but it's just
right,
like
right,
it's a little tidbit of like, okay, here's why this animal works at the end of like the bit,
right.
basically.
Which that's interesting. It was pretty neat. No, it's not a bad show. So
Well, Pablo, it had a battle scene. Did you like the battle scene
Okay.
in the last episode?
Problem. Sean, this is the show I fucking hate. This is my least favorite show of the entire season.
Why?
I'll tell you why. I don't give a fuck about any of it. That's the problem. Oh, cool. You made the horse. Why do I care? Like, what's it being used for? Horse things. All right, God accepted it. Cool.
He's gotta
Awesome.
make the rest
All
of
right,
the horses,
on
Dylan.
to the next thing. It's like this show is like if you take the audience of The Office and then force them to watch Animal Planet, but like only one that they would like.
But then they have to make Animal Planet.
Take the people who watched Animal Planet when they were a kid and the people who watched The Office, those mixed like Venn diagram people, and you give them the exact show that they want. Here's the problem. I never watched The Office, and I fucking watched the shit out of Animal Planet. Problem is that it doesn't mix if you just watch one.
that's fair. That's pretty fair, actually.
Hey, but do you find the show funny?
Sorry, analogy.
Did I laugh at the show?
Is that in your notes? Did I laugh?
Yes. Did
No.
I laugh? Yes or no?
It's like a little checklist. Did I laugh? No. Slay. Comedy, didn't laugh. Out of here. Educational, fuck that.
Snake episode was mildly amusing to me. I did laugh at something. I don't know what moment because I was too busy ranting about how I hate this show's target audience, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. Characters are like, I swear to God, I've seen the exact character, each one of them, in a different anime. I just can't fucking figure out which ones. The one I did figure out was
for sure.
the engineer chick reminds me from the chick from Fire Force.
Yes, I haven't seen Fire Force, but I was like, she looks like she belongs in Fire Force just with her outfit.
The only one I'm just like, I know where she's from. But like the rest of them, I'm like, you're in another anime. I know you are. I just don't
The
know.
voices are for sure too. You can hear it.
Every episode is going to be the same thing. Will there be a point? No.
It's
Does
a
that
comedy show.
Will it last too long for Powell's enjoyment? Yes.
Does that aggravate me? Yes. But I'll let you guys like this show. I will continuously hate it.
I'll let you guys like this.
There's no reason for me to like this show.
I'm so ready for there to be like one hot girl introduced, and then Pablo's like, just like in last season, just like fully on board now. Ramen girls here, we're here.
Okay,
We're
well,
gonna go.
chick, they're trying so hard though with the one chick. She's fucking said
The engineer?
no, the chick with the huge tits.
The angel?
The engineer.
Yeah. No, the secretary or whatever.
I know.
The
This is the
secretary.
blonde secretary.
She is
It was
their
like
whole angels.
like every episode, every other sentence
Ada.
says
Oda,
it. It's
Oda,
like,
Oda.
they're trying so hard to make this interesting.
Dylan, I have good
Let's
news
try-
for you.
Yes.
Mike, I mentioned to Michael that this is the first time I think in any season we've done I've had to put a show on ×2 speed to watch it. It's this
You
show.
can do that?
I can give you my site where I can do that, my totally legal site that lets me do that.
You disgust me.
And here's why. I watched the first episode at normal speed and went, "Oh my god, it's still going. How is it still going?" And
I'm gonna.
it
Okay.
and I just couldn't do like this may come as a surprise to people who have never listened to this podcast before. Me and comedy don't mesh well in that I am very picky about comedy shows and whether they make me laugh. There were a couple of moments that get me in this show. I can't recall them off the top of my head, but I definitely chuckled once or twice. I find this boring, and I'm not the biggest fan of it.
Bruh, how did you get through X-Arm on normal speed, but you had to 2 times the comedy show?
Because it's so bad that I literally just
So
die
good.
every second I
Ah.
watch of it.
Maybe it's just because I love bad jokes that, like, this is why I love this kind of show.
I was debating not watching the 3rd episode, by the way, and just kind of guess. I like, oh, I bet they built an animal, and you guys would have believed me and believed I watched the 3rd episode.
Well,
I did go and watch the 3rd episode.
That was
The
good.
Mechazorus was made in
The North
episode
is the
3.
only cool fucking thing
The
about it.
dolphin whale fight was in episode 3 with the
No,
sonar beam.
wasn't that 2?
Was that 2?
I couldn't tell you
don't
because they're
remember.
all
I
the
think it
same.
was 3.
It's just like 4-panel manga gags over and over.
Yeah,
and
no, it's a
I
4-panel
enjoy.
manga,
It's like
probably.
Pop Team Epic, but with animals.
It's like Kaguya, but like
It's
without
like
the romance.
science fell in love. It's like
no.
it's,
Stop. No.
This isn't a bad show.
It's like Africa knows
Whoa.
salary man.
I actually have I think I'm mildly seizing in my brain when I see them go to their little chibi forms, and they're just like, hey, this animal. I'm like, I know what a dog is.
I will
But
say
did you know about the ping pong tree sponge?
I will say I have learned some things about some of the animals they've talked about. I didn't know
I
sperm
love that
whales.
shit.
I didn't know sperm whales shot mega beams out of their bodies.
They shoot little
I
They
didn't
shoot
know.
at such a high frequency it literally paralyzes things.
I think
Like,
I-
literally, it
I-
kills things.
I think I did know the
Yes.
tree frog stuff that they bail out early to be tadpoles. I think I did know that. I didn't know they could sense rainstorm. There are interesting things here. I just have to take them in at times 2 speed, or else I want to I want to just rip my brain out while I watch this
I don't
show.
know. I'm forever a student. So I love this shit. I love a show that teaches you something.
I have additional good news, Dylan. This is the other show Jackman's voting up.
God, I did
Are
not
you fucking kidding me?
know. This show blows.
If this shit literally goes instead of something like X-Arm or Scar
Well,
on the
hold on.
Praetor,
Sounds like
I'm
it's
gonna fucking jump. There's a window here. I'm gonna fucking throw something out of it.
again I'm
No, they get to explain to your mom why you threw something out the window.
Oh yeah, we're going through this one again.
I didn't
That's a
vote
me
yet.
and Michael joke. That's a me and Michael joke. That was a good joke though, wasn't it?
I don't think Heaven's Design Team's gonna go this week.
No, it won't. It won't.
But
I know.
for the next 7 weeks, I'm cool with one show going. I'm just yes, get out of here.
I think the show will eventually get voted off, and I know it will.
Yeah.
But I think it's not the worst right now,
I don't think
and
it's a
I'm
horrible
glad to
show.
say that I think I'm safe this week for my 2 shows. I think I'm safe.
I don't. I definitely don't think Heaven's Design Team's a horrible show. I just don't enjoy it.
not for you.
Not for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as much as I'm I have to put it at times 2 speed. Sure, I'll put it at times 2 speed. I should.
Oh, no shame. No shame. I've done that all the time. We got 39 episodes, or around 30 or more episodes of
It
anime
was
to
like
get through,
35
not including
this week, I
the
think.
other shit we're doing that we're
Cons-
watching.
Considering I don't skip through shows when I watch them, I actually
I
just
would
let them
never.
play. The
know
only
what you
the
mean.
only show outside of Heaven's Design Team I've either skipped through or fast forwarded was Prince of Tennis at certain bits, because it's a long ass show and it's a sports show, so I know what happens in it,
No, that's fair. Training
And-
arcs. Get
and
out
I-
of here.
and I very much highlight skimmed through Redoor, so I didn't have to watch any of it, but I could understand what it was about. But yeah, I don't hate Heaven's Design Team. I will be pleased when I don't have to watch it anymore.
I'll allow that comment.
I'll allow it.
Oh,
Comedy's
um,
subjective, so
I'll
like
allow it.
Look at these Animal Planet office watchers. Anyway, I'm ready to move on.
Hey,
Okay,
hey Dodge,
boy.
you're back to back.
I am back to back because H is a letter.
H.
Right. So Horimiya is my number 1 in the season. I can already tell. Episode 1. I watched this shit and I was like, this is gonna be my favorite show this season. I know I said that about Tonikawa, but this time, this show just hit different in all the right ways right now. Because it's got that early stage romance shit going on, that you get in anime right now. And it actually builds on it, right? As characters. Also, it's got the ultimate oh no he's hot moment, and I respect that, and I love those. But I love the dynamic between the two. I think Hori and Miyamura are really cute together. And if there's one thing I love the most about this show, it's when they have those serious moments where everything goes gray behind the characters, and then you just have the silhouette of the character in a different color, that's kind of like expressing their emotions as they're like going through like a very serious, like usually serious conversation with somebody. And I think that's like one of my favorite things about the show, because it's just like it brings you right into what the character's feeling for me, and kind of then just like extrapolates on like the actual like the focus of this topic. Because sometimes you can get distracted by the colors and the background stuff, but like I think that's just a really cool design choice, and I really really like that. Also, like another show where like the opening's a banger, the sound design in the show is fantastic, and the ending's really good. So that's like my quick synopsis of this. I mean, it's a romance, it's a rom-com, like slice of life, school. Like this is my genre. This is my fucking alleyway. So
Dodge.
Sean can tell you, we've been watching this together for most of them. That comment about the white background, the silhouette, I made the exact same one. I
It's so
adore
good.
those scenes.
It's
When it's
so
just like,
good.
oh, you get the inner monologue of them just thinking. Also, this show did what no other show would ever do. Episode 3, and just have the goddamn main characters
Yes!
confess. I was like,
Mm!
what? Wait, no, that's illegal.
I popped off. I paused it and popped off real quick. I was watching with my buddy. I was like, yes, let's go.
But then episode 3 does some weird stuff where I think they miss her, like, because she says it, but too quietly for him to
backpedaled.
hear.
She backpedaled.
But then he just straight up says it. But then she says, I heard you." So does she mishear and like just thinks he's talking about the hand? I don't know, because then they just kind of go on with their lives.
The whole goal of these two is they're trying to just share like this like from what I've gotten from the show so far. This is like, I'm not the author. I'm not trying to read into the shit, but like my interpretation of this is like they're trying to share this like secret life with each other, right? Like, because everyone has like their two faces, like your public persona and then like your actual real person, right, outside of it. And everyone wears a mask, kind of thing. Where at school, she's the popular cute girl, she's got a friend group, this and that, but at home, she has to take care of her brother all the time. She cooks, she cleans, she takes care of the house. She's a real brocon for her brother. Like, she cares about her family, but no one knows this. She never goes and hangs out with her friends because she always has to go home and pick up her little brother because her mom works probably at a black company or like a close to one, it seems like. And meanwhile, Miyamura is just like was a loner and then was like, well, you know what, I'm a loner, so I'm gonna be a goth loner. And got his like 8 piercings and like his tattoos and his, oh no, he's hot, so like good on him. So it's like it's all about them like exposing their real selves to each other and then sharing these moments, which then just develops into like an actual friendship and probably love down the line. We got a confession in episode 3. If we don't get a kiss by the end of the season, I'm gonna fucking throw something out a window. Like, that's my go-to, but I'll be pissed.
I have good news for you, Dodge. I like Horimiya. I think it's
Good.
episode 1 is a really, really strong episode 1. I think one of the reasons Horimiya is so good, in my opinion, is because while these characters certainly have stereotypes and archetypes to them, because the show is centering on the double life, different identities, different faces, they all at least feel like they have more depth to them, and they aren't gonna be just blank character sheets. I really do hope that its poster's not misleading, and we're gonna dive more into the supporting cast, because they really want to seem to make these characters important. So I want to go into these characters and see how everything is. I enjoyed episode 1, I enjoyed episode 2, and I enjoyed most of episode 3. My only real point of contention gripe, thank you, with the show is that episode 3, I wish this show, as much as I'm not always the biggest fan of it, would just do like the next day or like the next year, because you have to kind of infer how much time has passed between the scene cuts. So them being in the new classroom was very hard at first to tell if that was the start of the year or the next year, because we had shifted over to be looking at Mia's perspective, which we hadn't been for the first 2 episodes, really. We were more through Hori. So it took me a minute to be like, okay, so we are on the current time. They are friends. We're not doing like this is how they became friends through his eyes kind of thing. And then like Michael said, then we have the confession scene.
The hand holding.
We have the scene where his buddy catches pink hair girl being like, well, she says he's all hers. And they fight. And it makes it seem like the fight's over that in particular, and then it's not over that in particular exactly. There are a lot of things, because the way they cut the episode, it seems like the two of them fight over the fact that he knows Hori wants him, but when we get the scene of them in the room together,
Oh,
that's
then it
not
cuts to
why
them,
they fight
yeah.
each other. It's just
Yeah.
it's just literally an accident, and the topic happens to have been about Hori as well. So like
It's
think
a guy thing, yeah.
I understand that, and I understand that this could be a reflection of like sometimes things happen, especially when you're in high school and you don't address them right away, and they sit there for a while. I'm not gonna be able to handle a show if every single week something major or important happens and it's not gonna get addressed for like another 3 episodes as like a plot point. So I really hope like we see important development and things continue to go with some of the plot lines they've started up. But otherwise, I really like this show and I really like its characters. And like you said, I think its art and its sound is really good.
All right, Pablo, what's the verdict?
I think this is the only show, maybe one other show, where you can tell that the people actually gave a shit when they were making this show. It's good. It's not my type at all. Like I don't really
that's
this shit at all. But I can recognize when it's actually a good show. This is a good show. Like it's hands down. I think honestly, if I was kind of like power ranking it like in my head, I think this is so far the strongest show. Definitely. I kind of disagree a little bit on what you talk about the 3rd episode. I kind of understood the pacing because they were talking about that how they needed to, it was fucking sweating because it was summer, and then the next time, they're just like, oh shit, I need to get some winter clothes.
I think they did mention like transitioning to the 3rd year too, like finals were over or something, but like it was
quick. But I mean, I caught it because I was actually like, it sounds bad. I was gonna say I was actually paying attention to it. That sounds bad.
No,
I was paying attention. I was actually paying attention.
Pablo, for half these shows, I'm in the same boat you are for half of them too. Like,
yeah, like most of the other shows, I was like, this one I'm paying attention because I actually thought it was decent. I really like the silhouette thing. You know what's the weirdest thing about like that like silhouette thing that I noticed? You never see it happen until like 2 seconds into it. It's like it'll just be like a normal scene, and it's like, oh shit, that's like happening. Oh,
and it's
fuck.
like gray, and then it goes like the colors.
And I like that a lot because it's like you never know when someone's like feeling emotional about something and shit, and then like you don't realize it's like 2 seconds in, and it's like that like you're now aware. Also, I like it a lot because it's not just like I'm like fucking emotional. It's like it's just there.
Inception horror.
It's until you notice it. I like that a lot.
I think my favorite thing about that is, like you say, it's like they could have just made this like the generic anime tropes like they have in there, right? Like, she's the tsundere type where she's getting mad at him or whatever in that scene, but they also show like the actual like just like general like, okay, but like, did you say we were in a good match? Like, and then like flicks to the color thing, and pulls you in, and then like it goes back to like the comedy part, where she's just mad at him, she gets a little bump on the shoulder or whatever, but. I mean,
I thought the show had really good pacing too. Like I felt like every scene transitioned really well. I thought it had really like pacing as equal as like Jujutsu Kaisen. I was just like, oh shit. Like the show itself, the quality, again, not my type, but like the way that they actually like flow into each scene where it's like, oh, there was something relevant in the last scene. I get why this is happening. It's not out of left field. Like everything makes sense. And I like that because it's not like too hard to understand. I thought it was really good. I think their pacing's like phenomenal. Other notes, I don't really have anything else. There's a few more characters I would like get into, but I like the main character. I like Mia's character, but I feel like Mia's the dude.
Yeah.
Miyamoto.
I feel like he might become a little of one of those like break out of your shell, and he's just like no, and then he breaks out of his shell and he goes back. And that's just gonna frustrate me. I already know it. I don't know because I like progress. I don't like regression. But I understand that that's like a thing.
We need an anime where they actually like get together and like actually deal with relationship issues.
That's what Tony Kawa tried to do.
But like they rushed it and just focused on like that was still the basic early parts of a relationship though. Like they didn't even get into like actual stuff. But like an actual anime like where. Like some of the source material I read were like they're in a relationship now and they're dealing with this whole stuff and there's issues that come with it in building a relationship, right? and that actually adds to characters, not just like getting to that point. Which of course, like, it's fine if it does that, right? You expect it to do that. But credit to the show. Like we said, we have a pseudo confession on episode 3. Good job, guys. And like they kind of get what each other's are saying, but they don't really believe it yet. And we did have unsolicited hand holding, which is definitely not okay. We need to cut that out. Like give me like a warning or something. Like we can't, not in my children's anime. Mm-mm.
To jump on what Dylan said about the pacing, Michael and I also watched this with a mutual friend, and her father mentioned, their father mentioned that other romances that are bad will have taken a plot point like episode 2, where they where they're walking, they hear the CD play, and he takes note of it, and then by the end he gives her the CD. They would have done that over the course of a whole season. That would have been a
like
season
her
long
birthday at
plot
the end of the
point,
year.
is like that they get together and he remembers this about her and gives her this at the end, and they fall in love. And Horimiya just does it over the course of a singular episode, while also weaving in the stuff with the student council and the issues there. And again, I really like these characters. I think they're super strong. This is, and just because I gave out a gripe about the show, this is in my top 3 for sure. It is difficult for me to say it is my number 1. It is like hard contention with another show for my number 1. But I do really like this show.
Tommy, we haven't heard your thoughts.
I don't have any thoughts. I didn't watch this show.
You need to watch this show.
It's actually good. It's actually good. And that's not just me saying it. Like, you know what's actually good when these guys are saying it. Like, when everybody else agrees with me for once. That's when you know it's actually probably good.
Its OP is really
fucking
good.
Dylan says it's good.
The ED is sleeper too.
Yeah, I like the ED. But
I think the ED song's fine. The ED animation's a little bit weird.
Yeah, true. It's a little like claymation-y.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just weird.
Like with many shows this season, I think like I'm saying, like all the budget in winter 2021 went to the goddamn sound design, because it is, even in the bad shows, the sound is outstanding. Like just the settings, the environments, like the music's in the background. Like I didn't give a damn about some of these shows. Let me tell you, like I didn't give a damn about Scar and the Predator, but the soundtrack that's playing when they're fighting, that shit rips. Like
we'll talk about it.
I just every show slaps. I'm like, especially like it's so important for music to be good in an emotional like drama or slice of life, because that just creates an entire scene.
Are we good to move on?
I'm done gushing. I'm good.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Dylan, talk to me about I Start You. Is it?
Oh, it's I Start You first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it's Taichu. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like you.
This show is about these bunch of dudes, by the way,
All of them.
School to be an idol. Do those exist? I have no idea.
Male idols? Oh, you mean schools for idols?
I understand male idols exist, Sean. I'm kidding. But yeah, they're kind of given like an ultimatum in like these episodes of like, if you don't do what the principal tells you to, you're expelled. So like, oh shit, we're in it and we're gonna get kicked out. So they're kind of like competing and like trying to like make their mark known and shit. But I mean, the show has a problem in that there's too many fucking characters, way too many characters. And what the problem in an anime with too many characters is that you have you got to make them unique. No character can be the same.
Ooh,
that would be weird.
Only one awkward character.
If people had like similar person, that would be weird. So what they do instead is that they take like every like personality and they give one to each person. They don't give two to like a person. That would be weird. That would be, imagine having like, a complex personality. That's weird.
Yeah, impossible.
He's the red one. He has to be angsty.
You must be simple brain. I must hate every show, Michael must somehow like every show.
This one is scared of women. This one is scared of tall people. Very different.
This one is tall, and they're with a person who is scared of tall. And then we have the energetic main character. Then we have a shark.
But yeah, the show is not good. I laughed my fucking ass off because I love when they try to like find a way to
care.
connect the characters somehow. And there was the one scene, I can't remember if it was the first or second episode, where he's giving the CD to Noah.
Second,
And
it's the second.
he's like, why are you being nice to me? He's like, dude, you don't remember? Back when we were kids, we sat on that fence and we sang together. And he's like, oh, fuck, I remember.
Man, we sat on that bench and sang together, didn't we?
I was fucking crying.
Here's the raw file of our CD, which doesn't match up at all to what
Hey,
you
kid.
gave us. A
Hey, kid.
fully edited CD.
Hey, Noah. Here's my hot mixtape with my buddies. And he's like, yeah, here's my hot mixtape with my buddies that we just made 30 seconds ago, but I already have the disc for.
It's gonna blow your eardrums out because it's not audio balanced, and we have the mic right in front of the cymbals. Bam!
That was something I made a comment when I was watching with Sean, is that the drummer, the way they put the mic on the drum set is right next to a crash cymbal. That is destroying an eardrum the moment he hits a crash.
It should be behind the drummer or like by like the between like the middle. But
You have
Also, they
something
haven't
plugged
audio
into the
balanced yet.
drums, and you have the
also
mic
in episode
directly
3
in
where they
front.
get absolutely destroyed by a chick with the dick. Like
Oh, the chick with the
I-
dick's great.
am not the biggest fan of that episode, premise-wise,
absolutely smacked.
because I think it is super unfair to these guys to be like, yeah, you're new idols, and we've given you the super hard task of selling these CDs. Why are you all fucking garbage the whole time? Especially the fact that a lot of them are trying. Like, the two groups are actually, like, our main group and the boy band actually kind of give a damn.
Which boy band? They're all boy
Yeah,
bands.
well, if you gotta make it
The
in this
one
business,
that has
you gotta
band
try
in their
harder.
name. I understand.
Oh, IB?
Yeah,
IB is amazing. I enjoyed them so much.
I understand what they're getting at with that episode, but it also just I'm not a big fan of that episode's premise as a whole.
This show has a and the biggest problem with this show, there's a lot of characters. For some reason, they decided to spend half of the second episode on a random character from the largest group. The one with the least personality of that group, too. I mean, he probably has the most.
The black-haired kid with the glass.
He
Yeah,
makes cool
Akio.
glass work.
They spend so much time
Yeah,
on
he made
the
cool
one with
glass
the-
stuff. But you know they're
That's
never
his
involving
only
him again
character
for the
trait,
next
is that
like
he's
month.
shy and does glass blowing. That
You
is
know, if the-
literally it.
And you know, for the next month, we're not gonna see him like once
We
outside of
haven't
when
done
they perform.
anything with the twins either. We have seen nothing with the two of them,
Dude, they just
other
play
than them
pranks,
pranking
dude.
people.
They're a YouTube prank channel.
It's just a prank, bro.
My biggest issue with the show, though, is that I hate Fire Phoenix as a group. They are so fucking boring. If the show focused on ours or IB, I think it'd be significantly better if it just focused on one group. But we have 4 groups, and we focus on the least interesting one that isn't the twins. I think the twins would be a garbage
I
group
will
to
never
follow.
wrap it around my brain that you already have the band's names memorized.
Sean, I've watched every episode like 3 times at this point.
God, I feel so bad for you.
I watched them originally, then I watched them all with you a second time.
Yeah. The principal's weird. He gives off weird vibes.
He's Monokuma.
He has the same bear voice actor
As
from
every other bear.
well, yes, but
Is it from Science?
notably not from Science, from what was that fucking VR show? Infinite
Dendrogram?
Dendrogram? That show.
Yeah.
The bear from that one. Same exact person. So, do I
Like
think
Monokuma.
he's the Lord of Destruction? Yes.
Yeah,
I-
this is gonna turn into Danganronpa 4. I'm
I
calling
love
it
Duncan
right now.
Rumpus.
I don't think this
Those
shows.
Dangrumpuses.
I think you're giving it too much credit. I just think he's a weird, like, they said he's a famous idol, so I just think he's a really weird idol who's in, like, bear shit. Like, I think you're giving
But
the
then
shows and
But then he spies on all these children and just randomly recruits them.
yep. It is really weird. They do really make it sound like he's just kidnapped a bunch of these kids.
Yeah. Like the mangaka's just handing in his manga for the week and then gets recruited to be an idol. What?
Yeah, there's a lot of personality not in these characters, and that's something that is a decision. Tommy, did you watch this?
I tried to. I'll tell you that. Okay, you could tell my opinion on the show when we chose it, or I'm sorry, when Dylan chose, or who chose the show? Who the
Dylan
fuck?
did.
I chose the best show of the season. Yeah, me.
Fuck you, bro.
Yeah.
Like I am very not picky when it comes to the shows I watch, but I like to enjoy the shows that I watch. because I'm investing time and I don't have a lot of free time anymore.
Amen, brother.
So when you tell me that I'm watching this hot garbage and you say I have to do it weekly until I somehow get rid of it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be a happy camper. What do you have to say? Please. What do you have to say?
Emphasis on hot. Go ahead.
Who's your favorite guy, Dylan? The girl?
Yeah.
The
Kokono's
girl?
amazing.
Kokoro is my favorite character.
No, I just like
It's not producer.
The actual girl?
I don't
do this a
No,
ton.
she's out, bro. She's like a fucking android or something. She's the fucking chick from X-Arm, I'm pretty sure.
Producer Chan.
I don't know. This show just fucking bores me. And like, again, I said when I first joined this podcast, like I am an action slut, so when I have to sit down and watch these
Watch
animes,
idol shows.
and I'm just like, bro, why?
We're trying to
Like, give me
expand your
something. Like,
horizons.
can some dude just like karate judo kick across the stage and like kick the principal in the head or something? Like, then I'll be like hyped about it. But like, no, if it's just this every week, I'm gonna be pissed.
I have good news for you.
So
I watched the episode preview for episode 4. It's about Tall Boy from Fire Phoenix. And he's got some stuff going on about why he's not a model anymore. We can only hope it's because he beat the shit out of someone and we're gonna get to see that.
Yeah, let's not be too optimistic here.
I'll get back to you next week on that. But yeah, no, I fucking hate this show. Please, can we all slay it? Shut up.
Sorry,
no.
there's other things to get out of the way first.
I'd slay them all then. I don't care. We can get rid of.
We can only kill one per week. We
Yeah.
decided on.
We
Put
just
it-
decided
put it
that?
on the put it on the wheel, baby.
Yeah.
We decided
One
one
at
per
a
week.
time,
Where was I?
Tommy.
What?
That's how it's always
That's
been.
always been the rule.
I feel like this episode there's gonna be two
Bruh.
that everyone slays. Like this.
I feel like if we all slay every a show,
Like,
it
yeah,
should
what do
go
you-
off
what do you-
regardless.
How do you
like,
how do you determine which
Oh.
goes if we just I don't know vote for all of them?
The one-
Like, do
well,
we put it on the
if
wheel
there are
or?
ties,
Yeah, put it on the wheel.
If there are ties, we discuss, we re-vote, and then we wheel.
I'd put it on the wheel unless we want to revote.
Can we move
Like,
on? I'm tired of talking about
I feel
this.
like there's gonna be at least 2 to 3 shows that might get like 6 slays this week.
I've
Like,
good
No,
news.
you guys could talk. You guys could talk for the next half
Fine,
an hour about
5
that show, and
slays.
you're not changing my mind.
I have
that
good
show
news
is
for you,
ass.
Tom.
I don't plan on it.
I have good news for you. Up next
Another
is
one.
the other idol show.
Okay, hang on.
Hey, no, this is my show.
I didn't
Get
even
the
watch.
fuck
I
out
didn't
of
know.
here.
I didn't even watch this one. As soon as I tried watching the first
Okay,
one, I was like,
Tommy,
the other one's the same.
Listen, if you're going to be forced to watch one of them,
Watch this.
you should
one.
watch Idly Pride instead. That
Bro.
one's actually not the worst show. I'll let you talk about it since
Yeah,
it's your show.
it's
though.
Michael's
So-
show.
Idly Pride. This is an idol show. If you like idol shows, you're gonna like this show. It has
But I don't.
this has a semi-interesting premise with the first episode focuses on a boy and a girl in high school together. The girl asks this boy to be her manager for her idol career because he sits next to her. That is the only reason she states, and it's very funny. And through the first episode, she climbs the ranks of this like competitive idol scene, and then at her last performance before she gets like gold rank or whatever, she
makes it to the elite idol system.
yeah, she's about to get to the elite idol. She's got to be elite 1, 3, 3, 7. She's gonna be amazing. Boy has to go do a thing, and on the way to her going on stage, she has a heart attack and dies.
That's not what happens.
Or is she in a crash?
she's in a car accident, but yeah, close
So
enough.
she dies.
she
She
dies.
fucking dies. And then she comes back as a ghost to follow the boy as he makes a new idol group that he's going to bring through the ranks. And she's just always there vibing and talking to him. As you see on the poster, the one in the front is the girl who's dead. The one on the left is her sister, her younger sister, who's the first person to join this group. And the one on the right is someone she meets outside who just follows her gut and wants to become an idol. And for some reason, she has the exact same goddamn voice as the first girl. That is the plot of this show. Idols ensue. It's generic idol shenanigans. It's cute. The music's probably gonna be good if you enjoy idol music, which I do.
Will
Snow
probably be a
Halation's
harem.
one of my favorite shows and songs ever. It might be a harem. I sure hope it doesn't. That'd be weird. Because they all hate the guy currently.
Yeah, because he's icky guy.
Yeah, he is icky
Like,
guy.
and they're high school students. Guys are icky still.
Also, the guy on my anime list is labeled as a side character.
That's funny.
Yeah, all the 8 main girls of the group that we've met 2 of currently, essentially,
I met
are
8.
labeled as main. We think
started
we've
to meet
seen
them.
6 of them.
We've seen the rest of them, yeah.
Yeah,
Have
we,
we
we-
s-
Well,
Yeah.
not,
We've been
probably
introduced
not
to
all of them, but we've seen a chunk of them.
I
Just
think
like
we
how
only saw
haven't
like
se-
4 in the
Oh,
house.
we
How
haven't
many-
seen
did
all
we only
of the I
watch 2
Start You
episodes?
characters yet.
I think did I watch the 3rd episode without you guys?
I did not watch
maybe.
it.
I was
Maybe.
so
Might have.
excited. I moved on to episode
Yeah.
3.
I wanted to watch episode 3, but Sean said no.
I thought I had to. I think
No.
that's what I
Yeah,
did.
this
Yeah.
is one of the 2s, just because it came out today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
Sunday,
see.
but yeah.
Well, yesterday. It came out
But
yesterday.
yeah, I enjoyed the show. I enjoy Love Live and stuff like K-On! It's just an idol show with a semi-different premise with a character being dead, which is pretty neat in my opinion.
It's twist.
Yeah.
It's on
Alright.
it's on a Hana, but it's an idol show,
Yo, okay,
Oh,
I'm not
Idol.
the only one that saw that.
which means
Like,
it's
I-
worse.
I literally was watching this show, and I like 20 minutes, like 10, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes in the first time, I'm like, this bitch will die.
Oh,
She's gonna
yeah,
die.
super.
It's so clear. Like, it's so ominous. It's so clear. And then she does, and then she comes back as a ghost. I'm like, it's just Ano Hano, but like an idol version.
Don't-
Like,
Don't know how I feel about the movie aspect ratio they do for the first 80% of the first episode, because it's a flashback.
yeah. My subtitles
It-
got cut
it-
off for the first of the episode, and it was awful.
It was a decision. Yeah, no, this is an idol show. Cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's
It's here. I don't know how I feel between this and I Start You. I think the dead sister is interesting. This show could be interesting. It also could not. And I Start You. Same. I don't know, dude. They're idol shows. I really.
One's cute guys, one's cute girls, with less characters. So I like the one with less characters.
Yeah, we have more characters with more of a fucking personality.
Maybe they might not have more of a personality.
We already have 2 that have more personality than every person we've met
We have
in
a
I Start You
dead one.
combined.
We have a dead one with spunk. That's pretty pog as far as I'm concerned. Like, I just put my notes like the TLDRs. I don't hate it, at least yet. Like, I don't hate it. Like, am I fine keeping it around? Sure. Like, I mean, it's passable. It's better than some of the things I've been forced to watch. So it's like it doesn't get the slay from me yet, but it's a show. Does anyone have any other hot takes on it or opinions on it, having watched it?
I mean, it's just dead chick thing fucking creeped me out. I was like,
Have you seen Anohana?
No, I don't think he's seen
that
that.
what show?
Anohana,
Anohana?
the flower we saw that day.
Okay, yeah, no.
It's a much
Okay.
more
Yeah.
engaging version of the story of this person has died.
It's a
and they hang
sad
around
version.
for a
That's
while.
very Anohana's very weird. But we're gonna
Anohana
move
is
on from
very
that,
good.
but either way, sorry. Continue.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know, this show is not too similar to I Start You. I think there are less characters, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
There's
There's
gonna
just 8
be.
in this one.
It is at 9. I just checked the character cast. There are 9 in the main group.
I Start You has. Let's do this first. I Start You's main group is 3. There's a group of 5, so that puts us at 8. There's a group of 6, that puts us at 14. There's a group of 2, so they're at 16. We have Kokoro, right? Whatever her name is, so that puts us
Yeah.
Connect.
at 17. And then there's another group of 3 we haven't met, so that's 20. We have her 2 friends, so that's 22. The producer is 23, and the principal makes 24 characters, right? Am I missing any, Michael? Is there
I
another
think there's
group?
another group of 3 because there's like the
Yes,
edgy
there
group
is
and then
another
like the
group of
older
3,
group.
so that puts us at 27?
Jesus.
Did I do that math right? Is there 27
I
characters?
think
in
that's
this
how many
idol
are
show?
on that thing right at the end of the ED. Yeah.
This one has 9. It's very
Yeah,
easy.
it's like 9 or 10. I can't tell.
It's
There are
I-
11 main characters according to the voice cast, and one of them is dead. So,
I think one of them's dead, and then there's the main guy.
he's not labeled as the main character. He's labeled as supporting on my anime list for voice cast.
I know. I had him.
Just very
On
funny.
any list he actually is listed as main. So
For,
Yeah, I assume he's a main character It'd be weird if he's not.
For me, I have to see more of these two shows to decide which of them is less garbage. That's kind of how
Valuable.
I feel. Because like Idly Pride could really be bad the next couple of episodes, and I Start You could do weird good things. I don't know.
Is it me, or isn't one of the characters that's going to get added also the one of the girls that's working with the main guy at the company? Anyone else notice that? Like, she's on like all the posters and stuff.
She was an idol,
and she's in like
yeah,
the background.
Haruko, yeah,
like, and she's just in university. Like, like she's in the group. We know she's going to be in the group, and it's like, isn't she like 6 years older than anybody else here? Because she was around since like way back when. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited.
We haven't really gotten any idol performances yet, so.
Yeah.
Oh darn!
We did for I Start You. We got that street singing scene, which sounds nice. I like that song.
Yeah, I like that scene. That was pretty neat.
And Idly Pride, we have the street singing. They do, the two of them.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah. Nice.
I like that song. It's not displeasing to me. I think the first couple of times Fire Phoenix sings and I Start You, it isn't great.
Yeah, I think that's the point. It's supposed to be not very good when they're on the street the first time with the thing.
Oh, it is?
Well, it was. You were cutting out.
Yeah, you see, but you have to make me care about the show first before you can do shit like that. At least show me like a late game performance.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is definitely one of those shows like I need a little more before like actually make a decision. However, no decision for me equals slay. So we keep going.
This could do what Lapis did to us, where we have a ton of characters and we don't focus on the ones that are interesting.
I love Lapis Lazuli. My favorite item in Minecraft.
Really? It doesn't do anything.
Exactly, but it's pretty.
Similar to these idol shows.
Similar to Lapis from what's that one show that I really like?
Steven Universe, that one.
Are we good?
That also doesn't do
Lapis
anything.
is just a character who vibes, I think.
Are we good to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Komodo Jihen. This is
comedy of the season.
This is a
comedy
Jackman show, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds correct.
I can talk Kimono Jihen then. Komodo Jihen is a supernatural action shonen that has comedy elements to it because it's a shonen, so of course it's gonna have some comedy mixed in. It's about a boy who's a demon who gets picked up by a detective. Who's half demon. He's like more half demon though. The boy's like
one's like half demon. The other ones are like half like.
I'll be honest.
Gods.
They throw those terms around, and I just kind of gloss over and go, sure, yeah, cool.
That's just what I got out of it. Like they're the good ones. He's bad. He's bad. Ooh, bad. Bad boy.
We watched 2 episodes of this, so if you've watched the 3rd one, try not to talk about that one. This was not one that was 2.
Sure, I didn't.
Yeah. But I generally like Komodo Jihen. The art style at times is a little. There are a couple of scenes where I'm like, okay. But usually I like it. I think it has the potential to be a solid shonen. It definitely is. It's gonna feel weird to go into a shonen like this after Jujutsu Kaisen because Jujutsu Kaisen's pacing was incredible, and this one is definitely probably gonna be a bit slower and more of a typical like shonen build, I think, where like you have to kind of get to know the cast. They have to really explore their powers more. You have to really lay out the foundation of the world. I don't think this show's boring with what it's done so far. I think episode 2 with the bug infestation is interesting. I think it shows off part of some of the characters' powers in a unique way. I'm interested to see the rest of this cast. Is it creepy
also, that's
as
a chick
fuck?
with a dick.
Yeah, they're old dudes. Just happens this season. I don't really have any complaints about Komodo Jihen. It didn't do anything to like offend me.
I loved one scene.
He shows him his ass.
No, my favorite scene in the show is he turns around and he points a gun at him and he just goes. So he has this monologue. He's like, "Do you still want to find your parents?" And the kid, our main character, breaks a small smile and goes, "No, kill me." And then it pauses, and then like 3 seconds later, he shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It was so funny to me. He just goes, "Nope, kill me."
Okay, so my wallet's still in my pocket. That's from like 4 hours. I still don't understand yokai at all.
Oh no, not again. Here we are.
Really bad. Do I still think Inspector is a shit show? Yes. But I really don't get yokai because it just seems like anything can happen to
Yep.
me.
That's the rule.
Yeah. So not the biggest fan because there's no logic to it or any like thing to go off of other than hey man, he can twist your dick with his mind. What? Oh, because he's a Zethorp from the Lugalots. And obviously if the Zethorp with the 3 trifocals, then obviously you just mind bend dicks. That's what they do. They're the mind bending dick universe.
To give this credit, so far, we have the one boy is his mother's an arachne, so spider, so he does web shit. That one's pretty straightforward.
The main boy's half ghoul.
No, I was explaining why I don't get yokai.
Yeah,
I
no,
understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally like
Yeah, I understand. Like,
No,
there
I
are
get
bugs
that.
that feed on regret. What?
That's fair.
Yeah, and they just he grabs his shoes and it's just gone.
Yeah, but shoes were
He
important,
becomes
dude.
spiders.
Okay,
yeah,
those Jordans though, they got them Jordans though.
They do got them, Jordan.
names and shit. He's like, yeah, I'm a Dante's Inferno. And I'm fucking said, like, yeah, you are.
Yashi, his dog.
We haven't really
Um,
had like a real, besides like the undead deer, there hasn't really been like any big fight scenes to talk about, so I don't know how I can feel about the show on that end.
Yeah, the show just needs more time. We're only 2 episodes in. It's a shonen. It's gonna take time to do things.
Is that a deer?
Wasn't it an undead deer?
It's a something.
No, what's that animal called? I
A
can't
moose?
remember it.
Was it a moose?
No,
Caribou,
caribou, cantaloupe. One of those two.
Not a cantaloupe.
antelope.
No, not an antelope. I think cantaloupe's a fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
Caribou.
It's the colorful caribou. Lily is in kimono Jihen, guys.
But yeah,
Tommy.
I mean, moral of the story of the show: show me your ass. Tommy, did you watch this one?
No.
Yeah, that's why you know.
No.
Send me a
Show me
snap.
your
You didn't watch one of the action shows?
One of the only action shows. So
But,
I watched an idol show before you watched the other action shows.
Dude,
What
I
part
was
of
just
an
I was
idol?
just going down the list, man,
fair.
and
Yeah,
then
that's what I did too.
I mean I watched Wonder Egg, I watched my shows, and as I was going down the list, I was just like, this is
But
not being fun to me.
Go back, talk back about the show. I think this show could be top tier. If I could understand it.
I think this show is like, it reminds me of Tales of Berseria, which just goes to show that Bandai Namco has like one good idea to reuse every like 5 years, and they just keep reusing it for the next like 5 years. But like, this boy just feels just like Velvet. He's just like a demon, and he's got to contain his demon arm. You
Okay.
know?
Steven Form isn't hot.
Yeah, his demon form isn't hot, so it's like, why do I care? And they're just children, right? And there's like a fox girl, I guess, who's probably gonna be like a love interest for some reason.
Yeah, we're gonna meet that episode 3.
I don't know. It's a weird show. It's okay, but like I think this show's best when I treated it as a comedy because that shit fucking killed me.
I feel like I am a spider arachne yokai because that one time.
We talk about how blunt their character design is so blunt in this show too. It's like, okay, he's yellow because he's a fox character, dog character. He's got like the yellow and the beige. He's got the spider jacket and the purple and the black because he's a spider guy. You get the black stuff because you're bad, and you get the teal, light blue, sky blue shit because you do ice stuff. Like, come on, show. Like,
Yep.
put a little bit of effort into designing characters. Why does he have
Hey,
gloves?
It makes
Why
you-
does he have gloves?
It's gonna make
It's
you
not
remember-
cold out.
It's gonna make you remember them easier. You're gonna go, which one had what powers again? You go, yeah, the one with the spider one. He does spider
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
spider jacket. He
Yeah,
was a spider
that one.
webs.
Blue
Hell yeah.
ice. It's association.
there's just a show that's like completely opposite. This dude with like red and like fire clothes. He's like, yeah, and shoots ice out of his hands. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, at least like their clothes make some sense. It's not a
No,
ninja in a bright orange jumpsuit.
I was thinking it's
Okay,
that video
hold
that
on.
TikTok.
I'm pissed off, Sean. I'm pissed off about that.
Okay, this reminds me of that TikTok that caught me where it's like, we have a square. Where is this one going? In the square hole.
In
We have a circle. Where's this one gonna go? In the
Square
square hole. Like that shit. It's so good. No, that TikTok is probably my favorite of all time, and I don't even have TikTok.
I think this show has
Goes into
potential, but
the
yes,
square
it needs
hole.
more time. Not to
Rectangle.
say that I understand yokai to an extreme degree.
All
Michael,
right.
do you have additional thoughts on Kimono Jihen?
I mean, I just think the show's gonna take time to start doing stuff. We haven't even met the full main cast. We haven't even seen Chick with the Dick do anything other than be scared of bugs.
Shame.
His name's Akira, I think. Yeah, that one's
that
Akira.
one's Akira.
The other
I'm
one's
gonna
like
go
Ken,
No, I think it's an S.
Spider Boy.
That
Yeah.
was an S. That was.
I call him knife because you're gonna cut yourself on that edge.
You right?
Yo, but he's
His name-
14.
Shiki.
He's 14
Yeah,
though,
he's
and
Shiki.
he's 13, so
Wait,
he has that level
wait, you mean-
advantage.
Does he say his age?
Yeah, he says
All
he's
we
14.
know is that he's.
He goes,
all I
how
know is
old
that,
are you?
all I know is that
13.
we're
I'm
talking shit about the 13-year-old.
Yeah.
It's a
14,
good
yeah.
time.
That's important to know.
I'm ready.
I enjoy the show. It's
What's
doing
next?
things.
Other Side Picnic. This is an interesting show. Other Side Picnic's a sci-fi Yuri show.
What? Fuck's that?
It's actually a shoujo ai, right? That's the tag it gets, Michael.
Yeah, that's the technical term. Is Shoujo Ai. The fan name is Yuri.
Girls love.
Oh, okay.
Lesbians.
Yeah.
I'm about to say
There you
it,
go.
so-
Put it in Dylan terms. Other Side Picnic has an interesting premise that isn't fully explained to any degree.
No.
That there just exists this parallel world that you enter through numerous means, such as an elevator, with a very, very complex code to do so, and just
Don't
shrines
let them
and
in on
other
floor
stuff.
5.
And it involves just these two girls who go out with guns and fuck around with odd things that exist like wiggle waggles and big heads.
And that one yokai that's in the church.
I don't like
That's like
looking
the
at
tall
these,
woman.
I don't like looking at these like yokais. I like looking at
But
these.
that
like,
one's literally a yokai.
Sure, but I think this show is much more appropriate if you think of everything they encounter as a creepypasta. That feels more on par with how they describe
that's
them.
good.
They're all
That's good.
SCPs.
You know about the wiggle waggles, which is the online forums talk about? Yo, I'm telling you, this parallel world has got non-emotional people who sneak on over to our side and steal your mail.
I cannot wait for the other side to just actually be the world all the SCPs come from.
I want to say I enjoy the broad design of the other side. I think it looks really cool. I would like to see more different parts of it than forest, wood, and field, and decrepit buildings. I think like it looks like it has some really cool environments I'd like to see. They get weird magic powers, because they fought a wiggle waggle.
Yeah.
And it did fall down into a cube.
She stands, Undertale.
Yeah.
Or blonde character with magic glowing hand is looking for her friend that she's definitely not head over heels in love with, but also we have a developing romance between these two main characters or short girl with heterochromia can't help but accidentally get into terrible situations because she gets frightened by her friend's lips because they're too close. I think Other Side Picnic has potential to do very interesting things. I cannot stress how much it bothers me when we zoom out for a second and they have to animate them in CGI because they feel like it. I see no reason why this show ever has to use it, because there are times where they do action-based animation and it's fine. It's great.
It's like 4
Like, it
seconds
looks-
of
it
CG,
looks
and then they go
cool.
back to normal too.
Yeah, it just randomly uses the
I
CG
know.
and it bothers me.
Just
There,
even
there are
the same
times where they're
photos as well.
completely still from a distance and they use CG.
And then they cut back to the same frame, and you're like, just move the mouth more. We don't care.
It's CG, and they don't have faces, because they don't feel like drawing faces on the CG model.
God, I hate CG so
Oh,
much. It ruins.
Overall, I thought by the end of Other Side Picnic's third episode, it was definitely in a stronger place than it was in its first. But I definitely think it has. I hope it does more things that keep me hooked, because it really feels like these first 3 episodes were kind of like a pair, well, like meant to be watched together. Because by the time you get to the end of it, it's like, yeah, we've established we're working together now, but are we? Which I wasn't a big fan of that question at the end, because it felt like we had worked our way back to where we were at the start of episode 2. So I hope that gets thrown out the window pretty quick, or it was like a weird translation thing. I have hopes that this might not be too bad, and it's not just because it's my show.
Okay.
Hey, if you can like I Start You,
do I?
so it's hard to tell sometimes, Dylan.
Pretty sure you said that entire time he fucking hates the show.
Yeah. Oh, I. But then he's also like, but Hot Boys though.
I mean,
Yeah, because he's a memer.
yeah, it's a meme. Tell my girlfriend that, please.
Just like the Harpies.
There's no Harpies this season. Very
the girlfriend's just a
there
cover.
could be. We don't know. What are other thoughts about Other Side Picnic?
I think it's really cool.
It's interesting from what I saw and was watching when Daj was watching it. It was like it seemed sort of like slice of life, but also had like a weird like mysterious element to it with like the like ghouls and shit. So like I don't know, it's cool. Or not ghouls, the little fucking things in the OP. I don't know. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I only got to
Wiggle Waggles.
yeah, those things. I don't know.
Spooky monsters. But yeah, no, like I agree. Like the show reminds me a lot like it's like Scooby Doo, but like trying to be actual horror.
It gives me
Like,
really big Scooby Doo vibes. A lot.
Velma and Daphne out here in the fucking third dimension looking for spooky monsters to turn into cubes to make some quick cash. Like
then they find Fred episode 2 and he dies.
And they find out partners in crime means we're fucking. Like there's another show where the music department's just popping. Like the show is good. It has a good setup. It has good like setting and stuff. But like we got like a translucent hand over here. We got Boruto Eye over here. Like what's going on?
She is Sans Undertale.
Sans other side.
Yeah, I think the show has a very cool premise. I think what it's done is very good. I also dislike the constant cuts to CG. They're really dumb. I think the show does its thriller stuff very well. I think the scene in episode 2 when they're dealing with the tall woman was done very well. Where like it cuts where it's like we see it start and then it cuts to the Soro's perspective, but you don't see that it does that. So you just go, oh no, the person's walking up, gotta go save him. But then you realize that it actually cuts to her perspective and she's being tranced. I think that scene was one of the best things the show has done. I think the designs for the big heads were really dumb, but I think that's the point. They're supposed to look like really silly. I think the show has a lot of potential to be good. It's a very cool concept. I'm a very big fan of SCP, and a lot of these things seem very SCP or creepypasta-like.
That's not a good way to put it.
Which are pretty cool. I think the thriller's done very well, which I already said. Yeah, I just think the CG pisses me off.
I wasn't very like I don't think the show's like scary, but its music does set the tone really well. Episode 3 in the abandoned village, the music does a good job of, even if like you're not going to be scared by anything, it's the music that makes you go, oh yeah, this is kind of thriller like. Okay, yeah, I'm a little.
It's
I'm
not
a
a horror; it's a thriller.
The music puts me a little on edge. That's nice, so I enjoy that. Dylan.
Yeah.
Thoughts.
Confusion. Definitely confused about the show the entire time I watch it, but I don't think it's bad. But like, I think you said it earlier. Really good point of like, this feels like kind of like that intro shit. And like, if a show needed more episodes for me to decide, it is this one, because I hate getting my hopes up on shows, and you know this, but I feel like this one could be good.
It's that tricky sci-fi tag where it's like it could be really good. It could be
like great. I like how there's like puzzles that like build on each other, but Yeah, I like the show. I like the show. It's not. I don't think it's my top 3, but it's definitely like up there. I think. I really, I really just kind of ignore the romance kind of and just like do my own like
I think you can.
with it.
I think you can.
But yeah, I have a tough time like putting the show down because again, I'm like struggling with the fact that like, do I like it? I don't know. I don't know.
I will say it is difficult to give us a setting that is like a completely different realm that the characters don't know about, and then there are really no real experts to, and then introduce a character who kind of knows about it and then kill that character. I understand it's going to help with like well, they're still exploring it and getting used to it, so everything will be new, but it's really hard. You have to give a lot of you have to give a lot of I'm trying to think of the literature term. Suspension of disbelief. You have to have a lot of suspension of disbelief with this setting where you go, sure, this exists, and I'm just gonna go with what the show tells me. I don't need to know, like, a lot about it. Because they could give us a little bit more background about the other side, and I would very much appreciate it. But we haven't gotten that. And maybe that'll be one of the main premises of the show, is that we're working to that.
Mm-hmm.
This was definitely a show I watched the first episode and went, man, it's gonna be a real big coin flip. And I watched the next two and I went, I like it. Still a coin flip though on whether I keep liking it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does these weird after credit animation cutscenes where like it goes to a different animation style of them weirdly drawn, just goofing off.
They're drinking beer, having fun together.
They don't usually
vibing.
seem relevant, I don't think, right? Have they been important, really?
No, I think they're just them like winding down after their adventure, drinking beer, existing. As you can see, like in that one, a blonde girl, I don't remember her name, has already had
Is
2.
it like Toriko? That's not right.
I think that's the girl she's trying to find.
No, it's an S.
No, it is Toriko.
The
That's
S,
Toriko.
the other one's name starts with an
It's
S.
Soto.
Soto's the other black-haired girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one they're looking for also starts with an S.
Yes. I don't remember her
It's
name
like a
though.
Sue name.
Mary Sue.
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 But yeah,
Saku.
show is
I don't know.
interesting.
It's a show.
What? Yeah.
I do enjoy their powers have to work together kind of thing. It's an interesting premise that one sees the truth, the other can grab it kind of thing.
Yeah.
I hope they do interesting things with that and not every episode say, we found the problem, look at it, grab it, run. Like I hope we see some different types of interactions with the other side stuff.
Yeah.
That'll be good. The more unique and cool things the show does every episode, the better it'll be off.
Yeah, and I think it's doable. It's where I'm like at right now, like,
It's week 1. How hopeful can you be?
For this show, I don't know. It looks nice. I think it looks nice.
I think it looks really good when it's not doing CG stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest. There were a couple points in episode 3 where it happened, and I kind of just glanced over it. And I didn't.
There were
really...
some where they were a mile away and not
Yeah.
moving.
And
so yeah.
And I didn't really notice how much episode 3 uses it until I saw Dodge rewatching it, and I was like, I rewatched part of it with Dodge. I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot of it in that episode.
It tilted me so much watching that.
Well, let's move on from other side. I think. Dylan.
Ooh.
Speaking of animation, talk to me about Scar and the Praetor. What is Scar and the Praetor?
Yup.
I agree.
It's an action show? I think we can rightfully call it that.
It's like an action show with no plot, and they kind of just like there was a plot. So like
They're trying to make a plot.
no. I know what it is. There was a plot, but the plot happened here. They are here.
Mm-hmm.
And they dropped you here. They did not give a shit about how it started.
Yeah, the plot died in episode 1.
yeah,
Plot time with
that's
the
a
only
good
good
way to word
character.
it. Yeah, Scar the Praetor has like these like factions. There's Artemis, Scar,
Helios.
and
Helios.
Helios.
It's
And then there's the
Artemis.
police.
It's Artemis, Helios, Dusk, is it?
Is that's the military people who are being butts with the guns? I don't know.
They're like a terrorist group, I thought.
Yeah, and they took over.
And then it's the PSSSSS for the police. The Scards are individual people in those groups who have the tattoos.
Yeah.
Continue, Dylan. I'm sorry.
So,
You could do it.
really cool action. Like, don't get me wrong. They're like pew pew, and they're like, but like none of it makes sense. Like, there's the tattoos of the divine beasts, but they explain it really poorly, in my opinion, because I just don't. I don't know if like I just didn't get it, which I mean, hey, happens.
They did not explain anything.
They're just like, these are the tattoos, man. That's it right there. And he's like, what does it do? Like, that's it right there.
They all do different things, right? Like, it's just superpowers, and they're just giving them a cool design and name. So, like, Cerberus, like, shows you the intent to kill so you can dodge it, but it also blocks bullets, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And then Kate Sith, which is Sword Boys,
allows
him to absorb divine energy or some bullshit.
Phoenix does... It's Phoenix. It does illusions.
It does illusions.
Because the fire wasn't real fire. And then whatever the fuck the other one was is just a powerful spear. It just makes like
ice.
a sword.
He has ice powers. Not gonna lie, that group of two cops, my favorite characters in the show. I love the way those two just interact with each
Artemis
other.
Boys?
Oh, are they in Artemis? Yeah, the two Phoenix and Ice Boy. Yeah. They're really fun. Just watching those two vibe together. That's it.
Dylan,
I think Edgy Boy's Kate Sith's a butt.
I appreciate that he acts the way he does about his brother's death, because I think it's unreasonable to have him be like, "Oh, my brother trusts you? Cool." I'm actually, as much as I don't like the character type of, God, I hate your guts because you killed my family. I'm at least happy he's not so easily trusting of AG, or is that the one who died?
AG's the one who's dead.
Sorry, is it a K? It's a K name, right?
We're finding it. Project Card Praetor no Kizu. Go to the show. What's his name? Kai Yamato. That's his name. He's the fourth character labeled for this show. That is very funny.
I can't believe they wrote AG and then wrote him again and just gave him the name Kai, so they kill AG. So that Kai can just start to become AG. Why? Just make one character.
Because he's the hero and he's gonna pass on his legacy.
You're not making any sense, Sean. You realize?
Sorry,
that,
forgive me, Dylan.
No.
We jumped in. Other thoughts, because it's your pick.
Well, it's just I don't know what's happening. I have no idea. Like, they're shooting each other. They fucking hate each other. But like, I feel like we missed a large chunk of history that they're gonna tell us 4 episodes from now, and then I'm gonna be like, but I'm not gonna be like, because the show will probably be gone by then.
It's a really weird thing where it's like, yes, Artemis, a financial corporation that has aggressive tattooed warriors with superpowers because they can. So, cool, corporation. They're bad because they're corporation and they aren't Helios. It's a guild. They're a guild that just that solves people's problems. Cool, they're good because our main characters are there. The police. For no reason that we have an explanation for, nobody likes them. Besides that they're the police, which, you know what? Maybe that's fair.
I mean, we saw them being an asshole to Kai. He's like, you join us or fucking die, Keck W.
But that feels really weird.
This is a magic bullet.
But
why do you know what a magic bullet is? Are those are a thing now? Wait.
But like that whole treatment of Kai feels really weird. To me, it feels like he has no reason to act like that as a cop to him, besides the fact that the dude's just an asshole. Which, sure.
My thoughts on this show, I was immensely pissed when Dylan took this show from me, and I'm really glad you took it from me now. Because I watched the show and I was just like, I mean, the action was cool. Like the fight scene we get in like the first episode where he fights
Where he, like, slams the head down.
yeah, like literally he meets his like hero and he's like, I'm gonna fight you because I want to, and he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, kid, and he's like, do it, dad, and like he beats the shit out of him, and then he goes home and brags about how he got his shit kicked in. But like I thought that was cool, and then the next 3 episodes I was like, where's this going? like I don't
Where am I?
I don't know. I hope this show like turns it around and gives us the information we want. Like you said, how like maybe 4 episodes down the line we get that explanation and they give us some backstory about this stuff. But as of right now, I'm just kind of sitting there like, okay, it's definitely not my least favorite show on this list, but I mean I'm not too happy with it. So I mean just the description and the name, it sounds like so badass and so like cool, but like it's not. I mean, it is cool. It is cool. Don't get me wrong. The concept is cool,
so bad.
but it looks pretty.
I really
Wait, it looks bad, or like from description, or like
I think
the anime?
it looks so bad.
Really? Okay, well you fucking like lollies and fucking sunshine raindrops and
Not true,
shit,
but
so...
true. The
It's
second part is
animation.
true.
It's animation's a choice. I'm not the
That's it.
biggest fan of the way they do backgrounds
I-
and the way they overlay the characters with them, like the almost, I guess, photorealistics, the way to describe it. Backgrounds they do with
It's
these
That
like-
they
it's
rendered
like
on a
2D back-
PS2.
It's a 2D background with some
That's
3D
so true.
characters.
That's so
Like,
true.
oh my god, it's like they went all right, background department, pop off. Animators, fuck off. Like
No,
that's just how this show feels to me.
I think the action, when it's just looking at characters and you don't see a ground beneath them, looks really good.
I have a
This
really
show
hard time
does not
noticing.
understand what ground tracking is, and it pisses me off to no end. I will say this till the day I fucking die, or till the show gets killed and I don't need to think about it anymore. There's the final scene in the opening does a large, like, zoom out panning shot around them. The ground moves, the characters don't. They sit on the same part of the ground, but the ground shifts under them in a way that doesn't make sense to their feet in any capacity. And the show just does that constantly, where characters will just move on the ground without their feet moving, or they'll step forward and the ground will move like 3 times faster than them. It's just dumb. It's such an easy thing to do, is just make them line up with the floor. You're an action show, do that well. This is the people who made K, and I'm pretty sure K looked pretty solid. I don't know, I didn't watch it. I watched like scenes of it. The show just hurts me.
It hurts.
Yeah, we got
Might
this
do
Fenrir
hurt.
plot point though, and that name's cool because it's a wolf.
Yeah,
That's a name.
get out of here, Shaw.
That's a keyblade
should I
that Sephiroth
say,
gives
So-
you.
Deadly X Wolf 19.
I watched episode 3 before watching episode 2 because I fucked up. It didn't change anything. I was like, oh cool, they're talking about stuff I don't know. They were doing that in episode 1 anyway. I was like, I guess they just handled a bunch of shit off screen. And I watched episode 2. I was like, oh, okay, they do talk about the bullet here.
Also, one thing that like I know I said this like about 2.43, how they kind of like they gave us little by little and it needs to build up. This show did like the exact opposite, where they gave us like 2 minutes of like somewhat backstory, and then they're just like, here you fucking go, like take it.
Bitch.
Yeah, like, and they're like, you're gonna like it, and like I don't like it, so I don't know. I need to find a middle ground, you know.
Fair.
Oh, I know.
Are we good to press on?
Sure.
What's next? Ooh,
SK
okay.
Infinity or Skate the Infinity. This is also Jackman's show. I'll handle it too for the sake of this. I really like SK Infinity. It's technically our other sports show. It's about skateboarding. It's about these guys who skateboard and do these beefs with each other, which are just challenges where you place bets and then you go down this one very dangerous track and anything goes, including like firecracker bombs and like fucking
Cheating?
beating the shit out of each other's faces. Yeah. And we follow Reki, who is, and this is by far my biggest beef with this show, good at skateboarding, but we never get to see that. He's only allowed to lose on screen and train Longa. And is it Lagna or Longa?
Longa.
Longa. And Longa, who's a Canadian snowboarder who now is going to skateboard. And thus we have to
I
make his skateboard.
I don't think that transitions well, but
We
you
have
know.
to make his skateboard into a snowboard so that it does transition well. I like Reki as an architect character who builds things and like helps everybody out, but I don't like that it feels like he's going to be overshadowed by Langa, by Langa in the skateboarding department, when it really feels like he should be a perfectly capable skateboarder. But otherwise, I think the animation looks good when they skate. I think it looks good when they're not skating. I think the downtime has some fun stuff with the characters interacting with each other. And I think the cast is flavorful at the least. We also have Dio. I'm pretty sure he's just Dio.
Yeah.
Adam is Dio. He's voiced by Dio. He acts like Dio.
He's got
He is
vampire
Dio.
teeth like Dio.
Yeah, Adam's just Dio. It's very good. Best part of the show.
I generally I enjoy this. Its soundtrack's good in my opinion, and I think the skateboarding looks good, and that's to me what it needs to do. I'm not entirely sure where the show goes in the long run, because the plot point we're seemingly getting into by episode 4, which is Dio wants to like monopolize the talent that is Langa, is happening now. So where does this show go? I'm interested to see what it does. Because I'm curious at how many. It seems like it has a very small cast, so I'm curious what it does for 12 episodes.
No, I mean, I agree. From like, I started watching the show like one night at like 2 a.m. before I fell asleep, and like, I genuinely was upset when I woke up and I didn't see the rest of the episode, because like it actually like had my attention. I was just so fucking tired that I like fell asleep. So I didn't get to go back and watch like the middle half of the first or second episode, one of the two. I don't know, but like I really don't think I missed all that much. I mean, the concept is pretty straightforward. I like it. I didn't think I was gonna like it because it's a sports anime, and like I'm okay with sports animes. Like I watched Kuroko no Basket. I watched Ahi no Sora. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah. And Haikyuu. I love this. But I mean, I was on the fence about this because like skating's not really my thing. But at first when I saw Skate the Infinity, I don't know why, when I saw the name, I thought it was gonna be ice skating. So that kind of threw me off at first too.
There is one of those this season. We're just not watching
Skate
it.
Leading Stars is a show.
I really would have been pissed at that because I think ice skating is fucking boring. But no, I mean, plus the dude, yeah, like in the picture, the dude had a tech deck. That was fucking cool. But
the tech deck thing's really cool. Him teaching him how to do like flips and
That's
ollies
clever.
with the tech deck is funny as fuck in my opinion.
Yeah, go ahead, Finami.
No, I mean, I think I pretty much I like the show. I wasn't planning to like this show, but I mean, I think it's all right.
The only thing that bothers me about this show is the skateboard designs. Why do they have the fucking indents in the boards?
Don't
That's
they?
not how skateboards work.
Do
No,
they not?
skateboards are flat surfaces.
I thought
There's-
some are.
there's
I
a-
thought some are into
Like
it.
there's the long boards, and then there's like the short boards, and then the skateboards are just flat usually. The little indents
Well,
don't do
the ends-
anything.
no, I mean the outside usually.
Yeah,
has,
the ends still. It's like
but,
a
but yeah,
concave
it's
thing.
not like
There's no like the whoop, like the
Yeah.
style fucking dip that they have in there. That's the only thing that, like I just cannot stand every time I see a skateboard in the show. I'm like, why did you put those in there? That's just it's not aerodynamic. It's not efficient. It's just because it looks cool.
Yeah.
And my son drew a picture of a skateboard once, and that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And that's what all the skateboards are gonna look like in the show.
Yeah.
Like, he's a snowboarder, so he puts desk chair wheels on his
I
skateboard.
think it's fucking funny.
I don't. It's alright. It's whatever. Like I think who's the one big bad guy that's in like episode 1?
Shadow.
He's voiced by Dio.
Oh, is he?
And
No,
that
Adam
Dio?
is. Adam's the blue-haired one.
is Adam Dio? Yeah, Adam's Dio. Dio voices like 3 characters this season, so it's like I'm mixing him up. Either way, it's like
Okay, but if the
It's fine.
skateboard design is the only thing that pisses you off, what do you feel about the rest of the show?
I mean, it's all right. Like it's a lot of bells and whistles for them going down the same hill for 3 episodes, and then him remembering how to ride a skateboard or learning how to ride a skateboard.
Wow, it sounds
Like-
a lot like Taiso Samurai, no?
Characters seem kind of
He
generic. to
didn't
me.
like Taiso at first either. You weren't here.
No,
for
I
that.
didn't. I don't know. The characters just like it feels like they belong in a shonen show, but they're stuck in a sports anime. If that makes sense.
Sports is shonen.
Like you got the hyperactive like main character. Reki hasn't done shit yet. Like he's going to next episode. He's gonna race the
Yeah, he's
big
gonna
guy
get
and probably get his
fucking
ass
bodied again,
handed to
yeah.
him.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then like you have the cool silent other protagonist who's good at everything because of
But
course he is.
But he's kind of not, and like he has a
But
name.
he kind of wins everything anyways. I don't know. Like, it's okay. I think it's fun to watch. It's interesting. I fell asleep during the third episode and woke up. I fell asleep. I started the episode, took a nap, woke up at the very end. He does like that trick where he's riding on the rails. Like, you can't do that. There's a gap in the rails. And then, switch. I win. And then the guy walks in. I'm like, I see. I missed absolutely nothing in this episode. And then my buddy just goes, he put desk chairs on the skateboard, and I'm like, and we're done here. But I mean, I can suspend my disbelief long enough. It's entertaining.
Important point. The Shadow is not voiced by Dio, but he is in fact voiced by Avdol.
Who is that?
The Magician's Red from JoJo's Part 3.
Yeah. No, I hear it now. I hear
I know,
it.
same Part
Also,
3.
All Might's voice actor.
That's what it
My
was.
Hero
All
Academia.
Might. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I knew it was one.
I enjoy this show.
Shadow also is a flower shop owner. He's a gentleman.
Sure he is.
I've enjoyed what we've seen of the show.
All Might.
I think Maki, I think's their name or whatever. Maki, Mia, that's their name. The
What's that?
gamer,
Of course.
is very gamer, and I don't know how I feel about that yet.
He's very gamer, cattier gamer.
They're very much the haha. Did you know I am gamer? Pushes
I-
up glasses.
I play
I need
games.
to level up. Pushes up glasses.
But he doesn't
Like
wear
stuff like that.
glasses.
It's just
He probably
I know,
He probably listens to
but
Chiptune in his free
they
time.
should.
Yeah, but he has cat ears, so it's close enough.
I
Yeah.
heard him.
I mean, I like the idea that Lenga has this weird, wacky skateboard. I understand that there's no way it functions with desk chair wheels in the bottom, because
I'll
the
be right
skateboard would just do whatever it feels like. But I think it's pretty neat. I want Reki to skateboard more. We've gotten like 5 whole minutes of him skateboarding, and that's generous. I want to see Joe and Cherry Blossom do some stuff. That seems pretty neat.
Joe's the best character.
Yeah, Joe's the JoJo character of this. He's just a walking JoJo character. Let's see if he's voiced by a JoJo character. I now need to check this.
Would that make him a Joe?
Yeah, it would be.
So if he won a race, would it be Mojo Jojo?
He doesn't voice a JoJo character. Very sad.
Oh,
hey, Dylan.
unfortunate.
What's up, man?
What are your thoughts on Skate the Infinity?
Skate the end.
Skate the Infinity. I feel like they're trying too hard, but I don't know. When I saw the dude like the first episode where he's like skating behind that guy, he's like, I gotta catch up to him, and it shows the back shot, and the dude's like skating like this, and I'm like, that's not how you fucking skate. They obviously don't know exactly like how people skate, but at the same time, it's like,
Or how physics works.
how do you make it interesting on like camera? Because this is the dude who's just like most people who skate are literally just standing with their backs slightly arched, or just going down a hill like with like the fucking like dead face. Like, no one's like as they're skating. You know what I mean? So it doesn't look great on camera. But
Mia rides on the side of it.
I think the show. You know what's weird? I get what was that show that we watched last season? Or the season that failed, Sean? The season that we had to cut because of COVID. Was it Pari Ranman?
Apare.
Apare.
That was the racing show.
I get that kind of vibe from it. I don't know. This one I like. But this one I again more episodes. Like, please, what's happening? Tell me. The main character. I don't really like him, but
Reki's a very Dodge is right. He's a very shonen character. He really feels like he's cut cardboard out of a card game anime. Where he's just like, hi, I have a boisterous personality and I'm undefeated in the thing I'm passionate about, and then I get bodied every time.
Early face Deku.
There was a point I wanted to make. I'm trying to think of what it was. I'm a big fan. I grew up being a big fan of wrestling. So the idea of like you're out here performing and like also putting on a show for people, and like you have like these personalities you wear that are different from like how you skate or what you work in the real world. I enjoy that stuff for like Joe, Cherry Blossom, and Shadow. Like, so like when you say like that's not how you skate when you see Shadow do that, I completely agree that you have to do it to like make it look cool. But like that's what my brain jumped to. I didn't even think like, oh wow, he's not skating properly. I just went like, yeah, this is cool to watch, because like that's what I feel like it's going for. And whether or not it goes too hard in it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
definitely,
we'll see, right?
yeah, this definitely feels like a show where I have to see where it goes, because it. If we're good, we can move on.
Let's please.
Oh boy, what's next?
Hey Tommy, did you get to watch Dungeon Boonies?
I did.
I'm calling it Dungeon Boonies
That's fine.
as opposed to suppose.
A kid from the last Dungeon Boon who's going to do a starter. Town.
Sorry, I have to do something work related.
Oh, that's fine.
I just have to answer this text real quick.
No worries.
So the openings this season are all 10 out of 10. Not all of them. The visuals in X Arms are atrocious. Song's pretty solid. It's just like some generic, like mid 2000s punk rock song, and that's fun.
I like Horimiya's.
I really like Horror.
I like Horimiya's a lot.
Horimiya's everything about it's good. Visuals are amazing.
I like Skates a lot too.
Fucking love
Skates
this
is
show.
really good. I like Skate CD is one of my favorites. I like the song a lot. I think it's real goofy looking, it's real silly.
Wonder Egg's opening. We'll talk about it as a show, but its opening's a choice.
It's going to kill me by the end of this.
Don't worry about it. We'll get there in
Okay.
a moment. You're good, Tommy. Let's talk Dungeon Boonies.
I'm ready. Dungeon Boonies. Okay, so this show, the whole premise is this kid, he moves to a town. He's looking for, I want to say like, I don't want to get this wrong, sort of say. I'll just basically give my interpretation. I guess he's looking sort of like a purpose almost, where he moves he moves away from home, goes to this new town. He meets up with this witch that it was one of his like older friends or something. Like gave him like I don't remember the first episode because I watched it when it first came out, but like he meets up with this witch. He has like this like orb thing, and inside is another like lolly witch that basically tells this first witch like you have to like look over him. Otherwise I'm gonna kick your ass. And she's like, oh, you bitch. And then she ends up actually being in the closet through a gateway mumbo jumbo anyway. So he ends up trying to be part of this military, but they fail him. But then it turns out like he's actually like super fucking OP, which I guess makes sense with like the
Last
title
dungeon thing.
The last like he's a boy from the last dungeon moving to a starter town, which I guess it makes a lot more sense to me now because there's this insect that this girl is like struggling with in one of the episodes, and then he just shows up and goes yeet and just like chucks into the stars like
Yeet.
And when I saw that I was like, okay, because then like later on
insects blasting off again.
yeah, exactly. And then like later on in the
running
next
gag.
episode, he's like, same thing happens again. He's like, oh, I should really take the trash out. And then another one comes up and he's like, just like I don't know if that's gonna be a reoccurring thing, but I really hope it is. I actually like this show. Like I know it's like stupid. There's almost like no plot to it as of right now, and it's just kind of it gives me sort of like a Wandering Witch vibe almost, where like each episode's been kind of different from the last, but I think the character interactions and how every so often they're like, do you know what he's capable of? And they're all like, fuck yeah, I know, I gotta watch out for him. And he's just sitting there like, you want some rice and an omelet? And like he doesn't even know like how strong he is compared to them, but like everyone else does. And like the scene where like he uses the wipe to like clean the thing, and then the witch is like, that shit took me 3 years to master, and he's just like casually doing it. And I was like, okay, so this dude's actually like OP as fuck. I will say the end of the were we supposed to watch up to 3 or did 4 come out yet?
3.
Okay,
Only 3.
so
4
just
came
came
out
out, but we only
today,
did
I
3.
think, but we weren't. Yeah.
So 3 got me hyped. 3 got me hyped when they were like, the scene where they're like meeting with the king, and that guy, his name starts with an M, and I can never pronounce it, but he's like the
It's a dumb
Montague
name.
or whatever.
Metformin or some shit. I don't know what his fucking name is.
Mertafan.
Murderfan, yeah.
Fan.
When he was like, haha, I had the king to control me, and the king's like, bitch, what? And then like shoves his head into the wall, and he's like, I was controlling you, and then he's like, I'm the demon king Abador or whatever, and he's like, Abaddon. See, I'm not good with names, you know this.
That's okay. We'll correct you
So,
anyways.
and then like that's
At
how
least
they're
you're not
like,
saying Gorjo.
Gorjo, yeah. but
We
but,
love you, Jackman.
I do know the main character's name is Lloyd because they made it really simple for me and didn't give me Kamuku-san and like I don't fucking but
You
Lloyd
you just sound pissed. I don't know.
I can
like-
remember Lloyd. Lloyd and Mary, I can remember that. And One Arm. The bitch's name is One Arm because she has one arm. I can remember
Riho
that.
Flavin, the one-armed mercenary.
Yes. So I actually like this show. It doesn't have the fastest pace. I did find myself actually kind of like skipping through it a bit because they were just kind of sitting there talking for too long, and I was like, this is not important. But I kind of like this show. I didn't like the first episode. The first episode had me struggling, and I was just like, what is the purpose of this show? Where are they going to go with this? Like, what is the story? I'm assuming this is going to be a 12 episode show, right? Or is this going to be like one of the longer ones?
It could
It's
turn
a 12er, I
it
think.
could turn to 24. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think this
It
is a
could get
12er. The only one that's 24, I think, on the list is supposed to be Kimono Jihan, I think.
It's only labeled to have 12 so
Some of them
far.
have
It is
13.
a light novel that has 3 volumes out currently.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay, so it could go. Okay, but I didn't know how far this was going to go because I don't think with what they've given us so far, they have really already started like developing like a 12 episode story. Because we're in episode 3 and we just got like an instance of like a bad guy, and I don't even think he's going to last more than like another episode. He doesn't. I don't know if he's like the main bad guy. I doubt it. Just the way they like kind of brought him in.
He's
but-
super important though. He's
He's
He
the
is?
arc bad
He's
guy.
important.
He is.
Because,
He's like the main bad guy.
Well, no, he's important because Alka, the village witch that from where Lucas is from, where Lloyd is from. I can't believe I'm fucking doing that. Where Lloyd's from says Lloyd can't get involved in the political affairs of like not world-ending destruction unless it's like world-ending destruction or demon lords. So like this is it's okay, cool. Lloyd can get involved now. We'll let him
Yes.
do this.
Okay.
She's the magical
Um,
word demon lord.
So whether or not this demon lord in particular is important might not be the big thing, but it just means that Lloyd's gonna be allowed to do things.
Okay, well, so that sort of answers my question. But whether or not this demon lord is like the main end all be all final episode fight, whatever, like I don't see that really happening because, again, they just kind of threw him in. They didn't tease into him or give anything. They were just like, I'm the demon lord Abaddon, right? That's
Yep.
the one.
yeah.
Abaddon.
That's the one. Instead of giving us some sort of like tease or anything. So I'm interested to see how this goes. I don't think they kind of already gauged his like power. So unless this is some sort of Dragon Ball Z Naruto thing where like every fight he like, or Fairy Tail, every fight he just learns a new fucking skill or something and like beats the next strongest guy, which I'd be kind of disappointed if that's how it was. I kind of am hoping this is like a One Punch Man where he
One
literally
Punch Man.
shits on everything.
Yeah, it's a comedy series.
Okay, well, I could
At least
sort
I
of
think
see
it's
it
supposed to
being,
be.
I could sort of seeing it being like One Punch Man, but more not as like serious. So I'm cool with that. I like this show.
I enjoyed this show. I think Lloyd's really fun. I think Marie's really fun. I think the mercenary's really fun. I enjoy all the characters that aren't Belt Princess because she has one character trait, and that is horny.
I respect
and
her audacity, but not her horniness.
It just, I don't enjoy that character archetype when that's the only thing that character is. And I think it really got to me in episode 2 when she literally spends like 3 minutes of that episode just going Lloyd-sama, 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 and I just like stop.
I fucking
stop,
loved that.
Shut up.
I laughed
stop.
so hard.
It just annoyed me. I like the rest of the characters. I think they're real fun. I enjoy the scene where he's about to literally blow a man into the other side of the
yeah,
planet.
he's gonna literally send him like
Yeah,
That guy
back
was
to
gonna
DNA,
die.
like-
that guy was going to be in Kunlun after he got punched.
He was dead.
I was thought he was going to, and when they did the little like the tornado thing, I was like, bro, did this dude actually create a tornado with his
Finish
fist?
one tornado by stopping his fist.
Yeah, like okay, I was looking forward to because I hate that character, by the way. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a fan of. Is that what his name is? I don't fucking.
No.
Annoying nobleman. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
I
annoying.
I
That's
didn't
his
catch on
point.
to his name, but anyway, he's annoying. I don't like him. He's cocky. He's
Generic
arrogant, but
double
he's
prick.
not. Like when you introduce a character like Lloyd, and then you're just like, he's this guy that's like ambitious and courageous, but like he's probably weak as shit, and I'm just like, I don't. You're just side character to me,
He's known
which
for
he
his
is. But,
toughness.
yeah.
Which means jack shit because Lloyd exists.
So. Yeah. Plus the
Yeah.
animation's not that bad either. So.
I think the art style is really cool. It's a very interesting art style. Like everything's kind of like puffy and stuff.
The fight animation at the end of episode 3 is really good. It looks nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The magic looks neat. We got other thoughts, Daj?
I mean, another broken male protagonist in another town instead of another world for once. I mean, he's just a good boy. You can't hate Lloyd. I hate it. Like I wanted this like Lloyd, but he's such a good boy that I can't, and it's annoying.
Okay, wait. I have one thing, right? If you are like in episode 2 when he does like the military entrance thing or whatever, like, and the only thing that they did was like the written exam and they failed him, would you not, assuming this is like, I don't know what like year this is or what time frame, but like wouldn't you have some physical?
He also
Like-
failed some other part
They
of the
do,
exam
they do
too.
3 parts of the exam. They do a physical training exercise, which was like the stone thing, which we don't get to see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
imagine,
What the
I
fuck?
imagine he demolishes it. And then they do the written exam, where he writes ancient runes, so they don't understand what he's written. And then they do an interview, where they asked him what kind of magic he could do, and he's like, I can summon rain. And they're like, that's not real, get out of here, kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you show the physical part where he literally probably just like, and the rock just explodes, like, I feel like probably should let this guy into the military, but what do I know?
Yeah.
Now he's a chef.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
feel
he's
like
a
they
damn
should have
good
shown
one.
that. 'Cause I feel like
He's
what would have
whipping
happened
and
is that
cooking
he'd
and making
swing.
it.
Think what theoretically would have happened with the rock is that he would have hit it with the sword, and the sword would have just disintegrated. Because a sword's not cutting through rock most of the time. They look like a really shitty sword.
I've seen One Piece. I disagree.
I mean, yeah, I've seen One Piece.
I've seen Demon Slayer. Yeah.
But this looks like a really shitty sword. This isn't a katana. This isn't a good Japanese sword. This is some shitty English
Yeah, but the
longsword.
horsepower and the wind that he's putting behind it will shatter the rock, dude. This
Yep.
kid's broken.
I don't know. I still
This
can't
man-
get over the fucking yeeting the giant bug. I hope that
Yeah.
happens like 12 more times in the show. Where like
that
this
gag gets
fucking
real
bug
old
just is
real
like,
quick.
no, fuck it. He's gonna
I
show up and be like,
chuckle.
nah, and he's gonna be like, yeet.
No, like I did like when he's like, "Oh yeah, I walked here. Oh, did you count any monsters on the way? No, just some animals. Oh, like what kind of animals? That's outstanding. You must have been really lucky. Oh, like there was that really big bat that breathed fire, and some bugs.
And a dragon.
That's what I meant by the bat that breathed fire.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's just like,
and then it's just like excuse me.
those are monsters. So he's like, no, what are you talking about? I
No.
know the difference between monsters and animals. Animals are like that, and monsters are things that are like, I'm gonna destroy the whole world right now.
Those are demon lords.
My only real gripe with this show is that we are moving towards a position, and I know it's gonna happen, where every girl just loves Lloyd.
Oh,
and
you
it-
mean like
he's such-
belt bitch?
Yeah, but also like Marie's getting there too.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's already
for
the
sure.
witch, that one. What is her name? I don't even remember. The,
the
one in the
lolly,
orb.
Alka.
Yeah, where she's like, I'll
Shout outs to
cuddle you
Nathan.
anytime.
Yeah.
Lolly grandma.
And then it there's like small hints that the one-armed mercenary, like,
No, she's just trying to get money from him.
you say that, but there were some hints in the scene where they're talking to Marie in the house that like
She don't wanna
cares,
fuck
she
with
at
that
least
dude.
cares about him. Oh yeah, they're
She doesn't
all
want to
fucking
fuck with that.
I
She
would
thinks
like
she's
an
gonna just like
explanation
blink and
about-
kill her.
about how characters just can sense power level. and it's like some characters
except,
can.
except for Captain Douchebag.
Yeah, I think the idea is that Captain Douchebag is not actually very strong in any capacity, so he can't detect power levels
No,
or
he's
something.
a tank. He's a tank.
It's just, I mean, I just don't want this to be, look, cute little boy. Every woman wants to fuck him. The show. I will continue to be uncomfortable at things like that, but I think generally I like its action. I just really need them to let Lloyd do things. That was something that I was watching, and by the episode 2, I'm like, oh wow, they really have no intention of letting him get involved with this plotline, huh? And then we got to the end of episode 3, I'm like, yes, please, let him do things. That's the interesting part of the show.
Yeah, I agree. Let's last one and wrap it up.
Well, Dylan didn't talk. I don't know if he has thoughts. You didn't
Oh,
talk,
I thought
did
I
you?
gave my thoughts already
Did
on
you?
the show.
Did I miss?
I might not
Right?
have. I agree with like what everyone was saying
It's
though.
been
Like,
a long 2 hours.
I like this show. It's good.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with
Alright.
it yet.
Michael, you get to close us out.
Oh boy.
What is
It's
Wonder Egg?
time.
What is Wonder Egg priority?
So I'm gonna see my nightmares
Wonder
tonight.
Egg's a slice of life show,
It's a
Sean,
slice
right?
of life. It's the only tag we were given
Yeah.
for this show.
Yeah, it's a
All right,
slice of life.
Gakko Garashi, calm down.
I don't see any. It's a slice of life. It's
You're
about
a
a girl
slice of
who
life.
gets an egg from some weird voice,
Egg vendor.
and then she wakes up in the middle of the night, walks outside with the egg, and now she's in a school, which is weird because that's not what's outside of her house door probably. And you know she's just
Probably.
vibing in the school, and she sees people writing the word "die" about 1,000,000 times on a locker, going, "Now we need to write it more to make sure they really understand." And these people don't have faces, and she's like, "That's kind of weird." And she goes into the bathroom, and the toilet paper makes a face and tells her to break the egg, and she breaks the egg, and a girl comes out of the egg, and she's like, "That's weird." And then the girl goes, "Why did you fucking drop me here? God damn it!" And then the murder. Things are trying to murder them now. I was not prepared when the fucking See No Evils walked up and girl with axes appeared and just fucking yeeted one. What the fuck is this?
That is the moment where this show changes. Where
That's the
when
moment
that
where
axe gets thrown.
Yeah, that's the moment where I think like I was watching Dodge Watch and he went, "What the fuck is this show?" When me and Sean both went, "What the fuck is this show?" The show is wild. I really like the show. I think it's doing a very good job handling concepts of depression and stuff like that in a way with like visual metaphors where like the first person is just being bullied and she wants to get away is the idea, I assume. And the second person is someone who's being bullied and pressured by their gymnastics coach, but doesn't have like the guts to fight back against it. And it's like really good ways, like giving off the metaphor, like these are like actual depressive thoughts people have and bad things, and they're doing it in a very good way. Like the visual metaphor of the coach turning into this big monstrosity and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Kamoshida.
And also I think Ai's adorable. I love the thing she does, like because the whole joke of like what she's doing in the little picture we have is that when she first gets outside, she sees the other girl on the roof, and the girl does that to her, and then she goes, "Okay," and then she sees the things appearing and goes, "Oh no, I must save." Does some big run, jump off the roof. Gravity's not a thing because this is a dream world, because she's in a dream world, which I didn't mention. This show is wild. Yeah. What she's trying to do is that her one friend, took her own life because she was being bullied. We're not sure if it's for being friends with her, if it's for people saying she had like an affair with the teacher or something. It was wild. It was whatever. She assumes that by saving enough people, she can save her friend. That was never confirmed. There's no actual things for it. She just kind of thinks that, and the voice has not denied it. I think this show is really good and looks really beautiful. But it's a wild ride, and it's going to hurt me.
I think you missed one key thing there, Michael. So
It's egg time.
if you die in the game, you don't die in real life. But once you leave the game, you take the
die in real
damage you
life.
took in the game. So, for example, in the first episode,
Yeah,
she gets like cut in her leg, and then no, in her side.
It's their side,
And then it heals up later, and she's like, oh, you're not here, so you don't actually, you heal faster and you're fine. But then the second she gets back home, like it just starts bleeding, and then she just passes out at the table randomly. And so like she can take substantial damage to get through these occurrences, but eventually it's gonna like hit her all at once when she comes back to the reality. And so it's just like, what even is like this show? Like, what's the what's the goal? It's not clear. It's just clear that everybody's life sucks. Everybody either feels responsible for or is related to somebody dying close to them that leads them to this wonder egg machine, where we see eggs being incubated, to be produced into like the fucking like slot machine. Like, sorry. Ah, damn it. Mary Sue this week. Darn.
Darn.
And then you get like in the episode 2, you get the other girl, which by the way, more dark skinned girls in anime. Thank you. Represent. Who's just fucking loading up. She's like, has like a fucking like backpack full of these things, like about to make like a fucking omelet for the size of Andre the Giant out here. Like, she had like 17 eggs in that basket, and then you flash forward to the next day, you see her going to the fucking ICU from immediate surgical care with like the mask on and everything, and it's like, Jesus. And then they become friends. Yay, they're friends now. Now they can go together to go get themselves killed, saving other souls.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
I think
know.
the idea is that they're like in purgatory and they're
This
trying to
is-
like break them out is the whole metaphor.
I
But-
need to watch this in the middle of the day, or I'm going to not sleep well.
Also, like I mentioned, the thing with her doing the peace signs was from the girl she was saving the first time. When she was talking to the dark skinned girl outside of it, she makes the thing going, oh, what are you gonna do as friend? And it goes, oh, we're gonna go we can go to a burger place, we can eat burgers, which is an exact thing that the gymnastics girl says to her in that portion of the show. She's she's becoming the people she's saving, because if see at the beginning, Ai is a very non-social person. Then immediately after saving the first one, she's significantly more social and immediately goes to talk to this person, which is something she wouldn't have done from what we've learned. That she doesn't even go to school because she thinks she's going to be bullied for her heterochromia. Also, as none of these pictures show it, but yes, she's also has heterochromia.
Heterochromatic.
Yeah, it's
In the opposite eyes of the other one.
yeah. She is actually sans. She is the blue left eye.
I don't know if I like the wording of she's becoming those people.
She's
I
getting learning things from them. I
She
guess.
She does gain like a different weapon every time she goes in, apparently based off the person too.
Well, she borrowed the ribbon. I don't know if she keeps it. She still has
She
her
kept the
pen.
pen
Yeah, the pen was the other person's.
Oh, I need to
okay.
load-
I
Yes,
missed-
the other
I-
person has the
I
pen when they
missed-
first come
I
out.
because she left the
missed that detail.
cafeteria with her stuff and she took the pen off
I
to go
missed that
when she went and
detail.
chased her.
Mhm.
But I mean, the show says it when she talks to. I don't remember the other girl's name. When she talks to the other girl, she asks. She says to her like, "Are you sure you're doing this for your friend, or are you doing this for you?" And that definitely seems like that's gonna be Ai's story. Is that by whether or not she gets what she wants, the point of this seems to be to make her a person who doesn't suffer the same things these other people have. And then we have our other character who, they kind of spell it out for us of, she might not be doing this for her sister. She might be doing this just to die. If you're reckless enough to do what she's doing, you might just be prepared and ready to go. And I think this show is going to dive into a lot of neat themes. And I think what's going to really help this show is that so far episodes 1 and 2 have a very repetitive pattern. I think adding the additional characters that we're going to have as a cast is going to really help this show's flow. Having this second girl and the poster and OP show us that we're going to be getting 2 more. I think this could be really interesting. I have a lot of hope for Wonder Egg because I think it's a wonderful show that looks really good. I like its soundtrack, but it definitely has choices like dubstep for its fight scene in episode 2.
That thing slapped. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's good. It's just I
Soundtrack
wouldn't
is
have
sick.
picked it. I really do enjoy Wonder Egg, and for me, this is like, even though we've only watched 2 episodes of it, this is the show that's like butting heads with Horror Mia for me as like the best show of the season. Like it's definitely those 2 for me that I enjoy the most. I also don't
think it's
like
good.
this teacher. I get sus. I get sus vibes.
I think this is definitely my number 2 right now so far. I don't think it's better than Horimiya, but it's good. It's good shit.
they're my top two. They are just they are perpetually both
I'm
number
so
one
scared. I'm so
because
scared.
like they both do what they're doing very well. They're two very different shows, so it's hard to put them like a 1 and 2. But I think they're both doing what they're setting out to do very well. I also just can't stand the fact that this show was labeled as only slice of life.
I'm
Oh,
not sure
it's
what
now
else.
labeled on my anime list as drama, as psychological drama fantasy.
There you go. That's more accurate. Dylan,
Thriller
Yeah.
shonen.
thoughts?
Oh no.
It's weird. It's a weird show. Definitely weird. I do like how there's like that deeper meaning shit behind it, and it's like it's not like it's pretty hard hinting at what it is, but we don't like know for sure, I guess. But I just hope it's not the same thing over and over. Like I hope it like I like how it's
Yeah.
diving up other people's like this person's sad. What was the first person? Fuck. No, I had it.
School bullying.
The first person was that chick throwing the axe. What was that supposed to represent?
I think it was just bullying.
Was it?
It's the idea. It's just
She was
bullying
getting
from
bullied by her
classmates.
classmates. I mean, she
Yeah.
was one who were people writing her to lock her to just die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
and then-
And
And
she asked
then-
if she asked if she ever had a boyfriend because she probably either stole someone else's or guys just liked her and girls hated her for that, which is a common trope.
Yeah.
But and the second one we had the gymnastics chick, and she was like all sad and shit because their instructor or her coach was like really hard on her. I like how they're doing like different like tropes of like why people can be upset, but like I don't want her to just have this fucking club weapon, just go, I'm really mad, and just hit them and make them go away. Like I want there to be more there.
That scene is like shot for shot the same from episode 1 to 2, where she yells "I'm mad" and slams into it.
I want there to be more there. Like I want there to be like, how does she feel about it? She just mad about it, or is there like something else?
I think her
Something
being
not
angry
mad
was really good for the first one, but the second one, it's like, okay, but like, does she do anything else?
Mhm.
Or is she just gonna be angry and then just like, now I have Angie but whip and hammer. And then I'm gonna have Angie but whip and hammer and a gun. Or something.
Yeah.
Which
With
also
a
makes you
hammer
question
and a
like what it looks like
mech.
for the other girl. Like what does it look like for the other girls too that are going in, you know? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
I assume like the world she's in, like that school, is her own dream world because that's where Koito is, and that's where that
that's
Koito
where
is there.
her
That's where
issues
her
were. Yes.
her
Because
thing.
it was the same setting.
Yeah. So I assume like that's her world. She needs to do something. I wonder what the other three girls, their world is. Is like the one's a hospital because like they lost a sibling. We don't know if the sibling was like they died during birth or something like that. We don't know. We just know they lost a sibling. So that would be a really interesting thing to go into. And we have two characters we haven't even seen. I think we may have seen one of them in a background or something.
We see them in like the title card.
Yeah. Also,
I
the
think
show's
one gets
opening
introduced
is
next episode.
wild. I don't know if there could be a more perfect opening for this show. Of like
Yeah,
what this
that's
show
fair.
is.
Yeah.
The egg crack at the end of the opening is a nice subtle little thing.
Also, the 4 eggs at the beginning are the 4 characters.
I wonder if each of them is gonna crack as they kind of lose it
Ah.
or die. Or die. They very well could die. People could start dropping like flies,
I would
honestly.
love,
Yeah.
I would love if this show did something similar. I don't want to spoil what it does in its opening, but Erased has a second version of its opening that happens at a critical point in the show where it's different, and I loved when it did that.
Still waiting for that opening to come up on AMQ one day, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, it's the one, it's the one.
Yeah, I would love to see something where after substantial events happen in a show, the OP
The opening
drastically
changes.
change. Like that's why I love Jujutsu Kaisen's opening.
So I like
'cause they
Akadama
added-
Drive.
Yeah, Akadama's
Yeah.
was really neat. Do we have any other thoughts? Are we good to get to final conclusions?
My thoughts
it's
are,
almost
I
1
wanna go to
a.m., we should-
Yeah,
shows.
we should be pushing to get this done.
Chop, 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 chop. 10 minutes tops. Let's go.
Yeah.
Everybody submitted.
I don't know
Yeah.
if
Wait,
everybody has.
Wait. Did I submit my laptop?
I don't think you have yet, Don.
God, there's so many shows.
No, it exited out. Fuck, I forgot which ones I put.
Just slay them all.
X-Arm, Back Arrow, I Heart You, Scar on the Praetor,
I come alive in the clutch.
Wonder Egg Party.
Weird, you're not saying Heaven's Design Team.
What? What? No, it's a good show. Kimono Jihen.
I can start off saying what I'm slaying. I slayed X-Arm. I slayed
Dog.
Heaven's Design Team, because like I said, I think it's boring to me.
Dog.
And I slayed Scar on the Praetor.
What did Jackman slay? Since he's not here.
X-Arm and Heaven's Design
Okay,
Team.
I'm good.
X-Arm
Man.
and Heaven's Design Team.
Jackman just doesn't like me as a person. Better question: did X-Arm get all 6 slays? Probably got all 6 slays.
Let's
I sure
let's
hope it
talk.
did.
I have results.
X-Arm got all
so,
6.
Senin, 243 Senin high. 1 slay.
Really?
Back arrow, 3 slays.
Me.
X-Arm has 6 slays.
Me.
Me.
Play you.
It makes it the second. It makes it the second show to have this. It joins Noblesse in the honor
Yeah,
of
no
having
bless.
collective everyone slayed it. What a great
It's
party to be in.
It was a great meme. I'm glad it's gone. Goodbye.
Heaven's Design Team has 3 slays.
Me.
Me and Jackman.
Garbage taste right there.
Horimiya has all saves.
Goddamn right,
Good.
boys. Let's go.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm just trusting you guys.
I Starchu has 3 slays.
Me.
Idly Pride has 2 slays.
Me.
It wasn't me.
Komodo Jihen has all saves. Other
For now.
side Picnic has all saves. That might be the most surprising one to me.
Yeah,
was
one disliked
interesting.
it.
Yeah, it does things.
I'll give that one a chance.
Scar on the Praetor has 4 slays.
It didn't have 6 garbage.
SK8 the Infinity, Skate the Infinity has 1 slay. Dylan.
Me.
Sage.
Dungeon Boonies has no slays. All saves. So,
We take those.
Wonder Egg has 1 slay.
Me.
Really?
You do it.
Yeah.
He
He
does
just
not.
wants to take Michael's award of the fucking Slay King from last season.
No.
No, Dylan had
Yes.
it. Dylan had
No,
it.
Dylan.
Oh, Dylan did it? Oh,
no,
I thought
I
Michael
had
did.
the pacifist
first-
award.
The first 5 weeks, Dylan slays like 8 or more shows, and then after that point, he starts actually only slaying one show.
When he has to care about what goes is when he starts to...
When he really wants something gone, he picks one a week. In this case, he's like, get all these out of here. I don't care which one it is.
All the shows could go and I would be
Yeah,
fine.
so, guys, I can't believe it. The Crunchyroll original X-Arm is gone. It was...
Oh, no.
No, guys, what are we gonna do?
I don't know. Have fun.
Other shows that are on, like, the watch list. Scar has the most slays after it.
4.
Yeah, sitting at 4.
Ooh,
with
that's my
6.
show. Shit, I gotta figure out a way to save that.
And then...
Maybe I should put that on there.
So,
And we have a lot of shows sitting at 3 slays this week. So Back Arrow, Heaven's Design Team, I Starchu, those. Yeah, and everything else is like 1 slay from Dylan. So, and Idly Pride is 2, because it's an idol show. So I mean that's this week. We'll do episode 4 of everything, except we'll do episode... I'll post it in the Discord, but we'll be doing episode 4 of everything, except for Komodo Jihen will be episode 3, Idly Pride will be 3,
Egg.
and Wonder Egg Priority will be 3. So, we could discuss, depending... Again, they come out Sundays. I don't want to rush people to watch the additional episodes of Komodo Jihen and Idly Pride on Sunday, but we could talk about that throughout the week if we want to bump it to be caught up to episode 4 for the podcast. We can discuss that as like something that we can do. Otherwise, guys, a blessing in disguise. We don't have to watch X-Arm. It's almost like we didn't have to spin that wheel. It's almost like we could have just not have spun that wheel. And we could have just done 12 shows.
I was way too hyped
No,
for X-Arm.
the wheel
I
gave
put on
us
a
idols.
fucking mankini.
And
No,
then we
X
replaced
was-
it with X-Arm.
I'm just saying the hidden dungeon only I could enter probably would have made it through this week over Scar and the Praetor. Because at least that one has titty.
I
But
actually think
that's why people would have voted it off.
I think I actually watched that up. I think Jackman typed in chat, and I thought
four
oh,
people would have. I think 4 votes would have been in max because I would not have voted that off because Scar and the Predator needs to go before that shit.
Fun. If we had only watched one episode of each show, I would have not have slayed X-Arm. I hated Scar's first
Oh.
episode that much more.
They both would have been gone.
I also
I
might
heart
have.
Cuban
I also
a
might have
lot.
slayed Picnic if we only watched the first episode.
I might have slayed 2.43, honestly.
True.
You might still do that next week.
Yes, true, accurate, fair statement.
And I mean, to be fair, since we're talking about our own shows, I am very much. I mean, I'm fine. I'm personally fine with keeping Back Arrow for a while because again, it's my guilty pleasure show this season. But I understand when it goes, it's gotta go, and I'm not gonna feel bad voting it off. It's very much in the same boat for me as Sorceress Stabber Orphan was when we watched it, where I'm like, yeah, this is a fantasy show that's dumb. Although I think Dylan enjoyed that more because it had like a plot line.
If
he could see.
Painless just said that X-Arm currently has a 2.24 on MAL.
out of like 10.
That is
Yeah.
that is worse
And
than
I-
that is worse than Gibby.
That's like worse than my Setsu got last season.
Gibby,
And I
Gibby
think-
8 and Ninja Scroll. I don't not Ninja Scroll. I don't remember what it was. It was
What is
Ninja
that?
something. It was they both aired in the summer. Were like two of the lowest rating shows that my anime list has like seen. I think X-Arm is already lower than those.
I think if Horimiya is not a top 5 show this season, I gotta find some other people to talk about anime with. 'cause,
Right now,
man,
you have
Yeah,
no worries about that.
My number one.
If it doesn't end up as a top 5, I'll
It's-
personally.
right now it's my
find
number
you-
1 easy.
They literally have like if I gave them ratings, it and Wonder Egg have the exact same score in my brain right now. But like it's a weird leeway because we've watched 3 of one and 2 of the other. So
Horimiya is like a solid 9 right now for me, and that's like really high for me.
Horimiya by far had the best first episode of any show that I think we watched.
I've given 10s to 3 shows ever. One of them
know
was Violet Evergarden.
You're very
One of
lenient
them
with
was
it.
Your Lie in April, and one of them was Your Name.
Yeah, you're very lenient with it.
So
I have
9's
a couple
lenient.
more. I mean, I
You
also.
mean I'm very strict.
Yes, strict. Sorry.
My rating is like if it's a 6, it's an average show.
Yeah.
5 is like fair. So like yeah, it's like a 9 right now. That shows.
Fuck. I think I'm staying up for work tomorrow. It's already 1 a.m. Oh,
Our
fuck.
apologies,
I have to wake up,
Tommy.
take an exam tomorrow. at
No, I
12.
work at 6:30 in the morning, but I think I'm just gonna stay up.
We
Go to bed, Tommy. You'll regret it.
Nah,
Trust me.
it's only a 6-hour shift. It's fine.
As someone who overslept today, you go to sleep.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
a 6-hour shift. I could do that fucking brain dead.
All right.
we will see everyone next time.
Maybe we will.
We will hopefully probably be doing this Sunday. Maybe we have to talk that out. I don't. Michael and I are both back on campus, so we start school. Dylan starts a job. Tommy works. We have to see. Hopefully we'll keep it
Looks
either
like-
Sunday or Monday nights. Maybe we'll have to do it earlier in the day, on like a Sunday. We'll have to see what works best for everybody. Although Tommy works, so that's probably not happening for the earlier day on a Sunday.
Mondays are usually fine for me though, but
It would have to be
Mondays I'm usually off at Mondays, so
It would have to be like
I could do
Monday
it.
night because we have classes, but we'll have to see. If that's the case, we'll make it known, or not. We'll just go live. You know, most of the people find us through Discord anyway. So, but yeah, that sounds like a wrap.
Cool.
This will be
cool.
the
Episode
longest.
one.
This will be the longest
got-
episode of
we
the
got through.
podcast.
We got through our
Hopefully.
30 episodes.
No, this will be the longest episode of the podcast.
We get to 35 episodes of anime. Now
I don't know.
every
We
other- and
we
it's
shot
gonna be
about
12
Wandering
next
Witch for
week.
half an hour 3 times. So. Hell
A
yeah.
lot of anime to watch.
Bye everybody.
We'll see you
bye.
guys.
I'll see you.